drop bombs. Now let me see you go off like a bomb. Bombs.
Chilling in the chair, I'll be sipping it. Watch a bunch of shows, I'm getting it. Yeah, I understand it's a quarantine, I got to be chilling all alone, but I'm getting sick. People who be running half the office, signing politics, scrambling to tell the kid to stop. I ain't gonna leave the room, I don't wanna kill a few with that the shit that is inside my top. Look at the drop, taking it bigger than now, taking it part of the crowd. Don't wanna pop, I don't want anyone down, better be kicking them out. Look at the box, smoking loud up in my damn house. Solo though I know I'm never going on and out. Party on my own, y'all. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't got a lot to prove. And if I'm moving, then I'm grooving, cause I wanna do it. Stupid, got my music and I lose it to another tune or two. If I don't get to move it. Even real can do it when I'm cooking. And you know I'm cooking bacon. You don't wanna check under the apron. Vacuum the whole room naked, facing windows so people who out getting the greatness. Telling me better to hate this, really though it ain't shit when you could compare to what the other people facing. So what I am drinking, still half full is true when comparing to the nations. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. Party on my own. Wilson, Tony Romero. Party on my own.
Thinking why we used to be so high in life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I'll just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. I know that you're feeling forsaken, mistaken, wish you were another man. I remember feeling awakened, mistaken if you thought I'm in that place where you want me to be. But I don't want you back. So it's easy to see when I'm high all the time. 'Cause I have lost you, get the thinking why we used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. I know that you're feeling forsaken, mistaken, wish you were another man. I remember feeling awakened, mistaken if you thought I'm in that place where you want me to be. But I don't want you back. So it's easy to see when I'm high all the time. 'Cause I have lost you, get the thinking why we used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high.
There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Brave is the army that bands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind of cancerous. How we breathe vapors, green colors bleeding in the streets for cheap paper. A simple the masses melt the plastic compound. Realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the systems are masked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. The power with the power with Charles Jurassic. Gnashing T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes, take back the atlas.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals of India Qualifiers 2 of NODWIN Gaming's Valorant Conquerors Championship. I'm going to be your host and caster Necro. John alongside with me is CA with his beautiful smile and emoji face. Now today, look at him. Just look at him, man. Just look at his goddamn thingy, dude. What is it called? I forgot.
Bow tie.
It's called bow tie, yeah. The bow tie, the red shirt, just looking pretty much jacked up. And I'm over here with a casual look, okay? I'm over here with just a hoodie, white hoodie, and red sweatshirt. So, how you doing, man? I can already tell you're pumped up for this.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Like we were just talking about this too, right? Like there's so much expectations coming into this series for both of these teams. Where on one hand you have God Particles on a high after beating the defending champions Global Esports coming into the finals. But on the other hand, like Velocity Gaming, they're bound to be feeling the anger, really, you know, as a part of their motivation that they're even coming this close to guaranteeing their spot in that exact spot. The 18th to 20th Feb playoffs were so close towards nearing the end of our qualifiers, but they've all gone by so quick, Necro.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the overview schedule to find out where we are currently. And we're currently on 7th Feb with India Qualifiers 2. And of course, after that, we're going to be having Nepal and Bhutan qualifiers. And then from that, the teams that are lost in the grand finals, they will move on over to the wild card. And the wild card is actually what I'm really eyeing out for as well, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolute wild. So you guys do not want to miss out on wildcard as well. But today's grand finals is something that each and every single Indian wanted to have. Like, you know, they were just eyeing out for it. And it's finally here. God Particles versus Velocity Gaming. And well, this is the fight to get yourself a slot in the VCC grand final playoffs.
Exactly. It's all for that spot in the playoffs. And then to try and push forward from there to get so much more in terms of getting international representation for the South Asia region with the 2 slots that we have up for grabs. Well, hey, Necro, talking about those 2 slots, you can see from the grand final playoffs, 2 teams going over to APAC Challengers. But before that, we have a couple major qualifiers to finish. Today, we finish up with the India Qualifier. Tomorrow, we finish up with the Nepal Qualifier. And then I feel like the real boom really starts with wildcard getting 2 slots into the grand final playoffs. Every single team, like for example, from the final of every qualifier, for example, today if either of VLT God-P loses, the loser will go towards that wildcard to try and reclaim their spot in the grand final.
Exactly, man. That's what I even said, right? The wild card is going to be absolute wild, and this is what you really do not want to miss. So please, ladies and gentlemen, be there in the wild cards, because each and every single game it's just going to be, it's going to be mind-blowing, I'm telling you, because each and every single team that we saw in all these qualifiers, I'm pretty sure there were like not a lot of people watching each and every single qualifiers, but we were the one who were casting each and every single qualifier, so we know what kind of like capability all these teams have that are in the wild card currently. So it's going to be a tough fight for definitely for India region in general. But moving on forward now, God Particles versus VLT. We did kind of like have a talk about this. Like we might see some, you know, some like X factors being pulled out. So what do you think, CA? Like what are the major X factors you're expecting today?
I'm really expecting from the side of Velocity Gaming, Amit Rasu to be able to step up, I think lead from the very front. Having known him for a while too, I think he is that player who really steps up in crunch time. And with him, Ace, I think we've talked about this a lot. Ace was known as the clutch master even before clutch power was a thing, even before we saw all of these players stepping up in VCC2 to really establish their name. Right to clutch was where it all began. So I want to see them stepping up from VLT side. But hold on to that thought for a second. We've got a massive prize pool. And in that regard, the MVP of the tournament, $1,500 prize, Necro, is what for me is the clutch factor going into God Particles. Scarguard and Knight Rider both vying for that $1,500 spot.
Oh man, both of them have been really just phenomenal in each and every single competition. Talk about consistency. These 2 players have been a prime example in the entire VCC of the India qualifiers. But yeah, God Particles overall is a tough challenge for VLT, and I'm pretty sure this has to be the closest grand finals that we must have probably witnessed since so far. Moving in forward, taking a look at the brackets as well. Of course, India qualifiers 2 we're currently in, and God Particles versus VLT is the grand finals of best of 5. And now what I'm really gonna eye out for is the map veto. Now, we talked about the map veto, CA, and map veto, I honestly feel like there's a lot of like, so both these teams, they can either go for a comfort ban, and at the same time, they can go for target bans, because I feel like both these teams are pretty much equally good on all the maps. So even if they do ban out one of those maps, for example, God Particles, they haven't really played a lot of Icebox, you know, so that's kind of like their comfort ban. At the same time, it's a target ban.
Yeah, exactly. Like Icebox is a big question mark because, as you said, God Particles haven't played it at all recently. And if you look at the side of VLT in Qualifier 1, Icebox was kind of weak, but just recently in Qualifier 2, they have shifted. And I remember us talking about this back in Qualifier 1. I wanted to see Amit Rasu on that Reyna in that map instead of Vibor on the Raze, and that's what the composition they played in the round of 16 in Qualifier 2. So I think Icebox does become an automatic ban from the side of God Particles. The question now remains from Velocity Gaming. Do they ban out Ascent, a map that they have not necessarily been comfortable with, that they have regularly been banning? You know, the map of the 9-3 curse from all the way back in VCC Qualifier 1. It attaches a lot of trauma and history within themselves. Or do they ban out the newer map in Fracture, where their comp doesn't necessarily feel the greatest?
Yeah, and these are the predictions from every single person over here, and it seems like I'm the only one who went with the closest. 3-1 is what Sia went with. I went with 3-2, and look at Phoenix Siobhan. She's going with God Particles 3-1. Okay, the man definitely has nerves of steel, and I do want to see now what he's got in the back, because of course, if God Particles does win, I'm gonna go and touch his feet.
Yeah, we'll have to be like, yo, okay, so next time we give predictions, Shivans, you say it first, and then we'll decide on the basis of that. But no, with completely serious note, I think it's like even the 3-1 that I'm saying, I was talking about this on the stream just earlier. I think it's not exactly like 3-1 guaranteed. It's more like a 60-40% or 65-35 in my opinion. So we'll have to see how it ends up going out. But what you don't have to worry about, and what is guaranteed, Necro, is a giveaway every single day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got the exclusive VCC merchandise for you guys. All you guys need to do to apply for this giveaway as well, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. You see that red button? Click that. Go on your social media accounts, YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, of course, Instagram and Twitter, and just make a post saying hashtag VCC. Be a little creative with the post as well, and tag at NODWIN Gaming. Keep this in mind. Do not forget to tag at NODWIN Gaming in your post, and then only you will be eligible for this giveaway. And hey, this is for free, you know, it doesn't hurt trying. Another exciting giveaway we have is that if we reach the live marker of 50K watching, then we're going to be given pretty much 1,000 rupees Amazon gift card, which is 50. That means 50,000 rupees for free.
Yeah, exactly. And it's only, as you can see, active till India Qualifiers too. So you got to make sure, again, get everyone you know online, whether they play Valorant, whether they like Valorant or not, whether they're like, I don't even know what Valorant means, doesn't matter. They need to come on the stream and just stay here for a while so we can hit that 50K live watching and get that 50,000 rupees worth of giveaway from NODWIN Gaming. Like, hell,
it's
yeah,
free. It's free.
Yeah,
it's free. It doesn't hurt to apply. You know, I mean, I would have definitely went out, go ahead and applied, but I'm pretty sure if I do try to apply, I'm gonna get a lot of beating from the not actually beating, but yeah, they're gonna be like, all right, you're not really eligible, and if you do end up winning, people will say, okay, it's rigged, so we're not really eligible. And talking about the map selection, CA, it seems like both these teams have went with their comfort, but at the same time, their comfort can also be a target ban for the other team. So pretty much a casual stuff. VLT, of course, picking up Breeze, so God Particles versus VLT in the map of Breeze is going to be really close.
I think when you look at the map of Breeze, it's a big gauntlet being thrown here for both teams, in the sense that, yes, we did hear from DM yesterday, as soon as they get Breeze, they're going to pick Breeze every single time. But you have to acknowledge that God Particles themselves are a team that is feeling very, very strong on Breeze recently. So the fact that Breeze is actually picked up by VLT, it's not just a statement they made yesterday, but it's a statement they're going to look to continue in every single veto. Just puts down the gauntlet right here, where if they beat God Particles on this map, of course it's a map of their choice, but if they're able to do it in the first map, it's going to add a ton of confidence to them to just believe in their playstyle and play their identity.
No, I mean, this kind of brings me to another point. Now, we've seen Deathmaker being really proactive on the map of Breeze. We've seen him just go all guns blazing. But on the other hand, you have a player like Knight Rider to stop that guns blazing, you know, to pretty much to put a halt to his push. So I want to see, because Knight Rider as well is one of those players. He can go proactive, but at the same time, he likes to play with his team as well. So I want to see, how are they going to be countering Deathmaker's aggression?
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting spectacle to witness, and thankfully, we won't have to wait any longer. I'm not sure what happened with the agent selection right there. It went by as quick as it came, but there's not going to be much changes, guys. There's going to be that simple Sova Sky Viper combination, the Cypher likely to be picked up for both of the teams, and it's really that Cypher that I've got my eyes on. Hellfighter, again, one of the best lurkers in my opinion, not just in VLT, but in South Asia in general too. The amount of proactivity he's able to bring to the game continuously adds a layer of nuisance for the teams. Now, got Particles. I'm not sure what look they're going to try to bring here, because if you look at the map yesterday against True Rippers, I don't think that's what VLT is going to play like. Yes, aggression is what we expect in the first few rounds, but aggression all throughout, I don't think that's going to work against God Particles at all. So in the mid rounds, around in the 4th, 5th round is when we expect VLT to really switch it up. Already though, looking at these defaults, quite interesting from the side of Velocity Gaming. They're playing a triple stack on B, playing that Cypher Soul Anchor on that A side, almost ready to retake on that A side, because if you notice, they haven't really committed the Viper Wall yet onto the map.
Yeah, still, I mean, this time you can clearly see a huge change in the pace from VLT as well. Not really overstepping their boundaries, taking things so slow, and look at Knight Rider all the way deep in mid. Gotten a lot of map control and now is looking to deliver, but still taking things really slow and cautious. Viper as well, all the way in meadow doors, right to A, spotting him out. Amber is the man. Still nothing really much happening. No bodies hitting the deck.
Notice the camera still hasn't been popped. He only pops it as soon as he hears the plant. Fully intending to play on the retake, but it gets him caught off guard. Knight Rider able to sneak in through mid doors, takes out Hellfighter, and suddenly the retake plan not going so well, especially with Loki on the mid lurk. Poppy shutting down VLT.
Knight Rider is kind of like the man who's just man unleashed, you know? They're like, all right, Knight Rider, go ahead and try to create as much space as possible. Knight Rider had a lot of space in the mid and then later on try to convert it into a kill, and he did it successfully. But a flawless round coming through from God Particles. Now that's the statement to start the game off.
Statement indeed. And it's really going to come down to how good these teams can be on such rounds where the mind games are ridiculously important, where a camera popped earlier might have given them the information, but a camera popped earlier might have also removed that camera from play in that retake, and that's where it's so important to find those tiny nooks and crannies, the tiny spaces that will give them an advantage. But talking about Knight Rider feeling himself, a Phantom coming out in this round with the light shields.
Yeah.
It's a bit concerning, because if that Phantom drops to any member of VLT, they're sure to make them pay. But then again, if Knight Rider is feeling himself, he's sure to mow them down with it.
I mean, he clearly does have a lot of confidence to take that Phantom in the second round, so he probably has to deliver with it. Wall squad interesting from the side of VLT, trying their best to stop the aggression on the A side, but that's not going to be the case. Instead, that's a good flash. Does manage to blind him, but nothing really special just yet. Phantom still on the board, so there's nothing really to be scared of. Knight Rider is looking to pop some skulls. Logista's trying his best to follow it up, and now the final two players are in mid on the doors. Beautiful shock dart. Deathmaker down to only 10 HP. He has the Sheriff in the hand. If he manages to connect any skulls here, that can mean quite a lot. But still, both of them just trying to back off and pretty much trying to play a surprising game.
Kind of hoping he drops that Sheriff to Hellfighter. Be like, you can go ahead with it. I'm too low right now. I don't have my Tailwind either. But no, Deathmaker believes in his ability to pop skulls, unfortunately.
Oh, there we go. That's why he did not drop it.
Logi's managed to sneak up on him, but no. Deathmaker will pop that skull.
Yeah, he will. Maybe that's the reason. Pretty much it was planned. Deathmaker now looking to pretty much connect another skulls. Trying to put on a stellar performance, but is that going to be a question or not? But no, it's just God Particle sending a stark message.
Then again, I think VLT would be content with the way this eco round did end up going. All they bought in terms of investment was just that one Sheriff, where on the other hand, from God Particles, it was 3 Spectres and 1 Phantom. Now, it will just mean the losses of 2 Spectres overall in this round, but it's still quite a heavy loss because it makes sure that they cannot continue on the bonus. As you can see, they have to commit into buying Logi, going for the Phantom Ember as well, and it's quite revealing with regards to how they want to play it, because the Phantom is rarely what you see when the attackers are playing defaults. The Phantom is something more likely to be used when they're going for the playmaking, going for the 3-1-1 and trying to let their lurkers play passive positions, and that's exactly what you can see they're trying to do. But that makes it catches Knight Rider off guard, and VLT off on a great note on their buy round.
Yeah, off on a great note. Vabor as well being spotted. Instant cams out as well to get a little bit of visual info on that. Still, VLT taking things really safe. Don't you think so? I mean, yesterday we saw VLT pretty much trying to go on aggressive note, even on defensive side. But today they're just going for some safer plays. And maybe that's why they're trying to go for safer plays, because God Particles are just available everywhere on the map. They have their eyes locked on each and every single part. And VLT, they're just not able to sneak past.
Yeah, I think it has to also do a lot with the fact that from the side of God Particles, we expect that slower play. So VLT trying to mirror exactly that. But right now, with Vibor being down for the side of VLT, Amaterasu under a lot of pressure. Not only does he have to mark mid doors, but also has to mark A main. So now trying to back up pure instantaneous. He's not the backup of Ace. He drops his spike carrier and suddenly VLT is back in control.
But there we go though. Logista is able to follow it up, but no, Amaterasu from the back will stop it. It's a 1-on-2 situation. Scar got the man alive. But this time the shake aim does not connect and Deathmaker shuts him down.
You can see Hellfighter pumped up. Let's go, he says, as getting the rest of the team pumped up as well. But that angle, man, that's angle I feel like something that teams need to start expecting, especially when you're playing against that Jet. Or even that Chamber for that matter. We saw Bones exploiting that angle very, very well yesterday. Right now, teams still not used to it. Still not expecting it and getting caught off guard because of it. Now, it is going to be a basic eco from the side of God Particles, but given the fact that Knight Rider was able to carry his Phantom from round 2, he's still able to afford a Phantom and Light Shield in this round. So they do have the option of the Hero Phantom play, and they're going to try to use that with aggression here. Knight Rider leading the charges. 3 members follow him in this horse push. Now the drone will not reveal Knight Rider's position. He can go for the peek and find the kill.
Good pick. And again, God Particles, they're just able to follow it up with frags all the time. Deathmaker's gonna get spotted. But he's still able to get away with this frags, even though he's spotted. I don't know how it's that possible, but still, this man's just absolutely insane. 12 HP. Still trying to back off here. Nice connections coming through from Vibor. And pretty much saying good night to Scar God over there. Deathmaker's still alive all the way in the back, and now it's all down to Shivy the IGL. Oh, he lines him up though. Vibor and Deathmaker shut down and put down asleep. And now Shivy, with only 3 HP, has a lot of dreams to come true. But again, are they going to happen or not? That's the question.
He does have the Hunter's Fury available after his plant. So somehow if he could get into a safe position, maybe he could pull it off. But you can see the Cypher utility available on site. There's a cage as well next to that trap right here, which is going to reveal his position. I'm really glad he took that down. He could have died to the trap when he did it. And just like that, Shiri, he's not going to be able to get out of sight because of this. Now, I want to actually see him use the drone proactively, maybe try to shut one person down with the Hunter's Fury, and then maybe try to pull it off. Or the call could just as easily be, hey, let's just try to get away sneakily, and he's managed to done that. Hellfighter should not be expecting him here.
Oh, this is absolutely huge. Oh, but the problem is Amaterasu sees him. Spots out the collar and will shut down the man.
I think
and
we
VLT.
saw the booty of that Sova from the back. He's like, hey, I see you. Not so great of a hunter, are you? I can see your butt.
It's too thick. Shuts him down. But yeah, another round on the board for VLT. They're looking really good.
Oh, that lineup though.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Just that burst coming through is able to kind of transfer it, just like micro adjust on the left side. And he just followed it up because Deathmaker's was already really low. But the operator on the board now, that's going to be something that Knight Rider will have to take out.
Exactly, and both of these Jets have that operator set up. Now again, talking about the defaults, you can see with the way the cages and the traps are set up, for them, it's all about playing B on retake, I feel like, where they're trying to deny backside control easily. Most likely going to play towards that mid-tunnels area, with Deathmaker being the flex person in this default. He's looking to take a peek near B early, but as soon as he realizes no one's going to come, he shifts his peek immediately. And the same is for Knight Rider. That's usually what we see with these Jets on the operators, moving around the map, trying to facilitate a pick for their team with their reach. But so far, no action on either front. It's just a ton of map control actually for God Particles. You see, they have elbow control with that camera. They're waiting for some aggression towards mid. And now with that cave control, they get the Hunter's Fury on, trying to shut down Amaterasu, but he's put on his best dancing shoes.
Barely gets away though. Amaterasu is still alive on the side, so the threat is there. He needs to be shut down though. 2 bullets and Amaterasu's lifeline will be cut off. There we go. Trailblazers out in the mid. Vibor pretty much giving a lot of calls away. Knight Rider's going to be the man to bait the first peek, but misses that crucial shot, and now the Cypher will have to follow it up. But a good blind coming through from their side of VLT. Seems like they've just found the kryptonite for this strat.
And oh boy. Even after the recent changes onto Breeze, I do believe it's more of that attacker-favored map. There's a lot more space to take, and in that round particularly, like given, I want to talk about that camera again from Logi. He saw nothing on that elbow. A fun fact, the camera also lets you hear the audio from that area if you're watching at the moment. So of course it's a timing factor, but given the fact that he didn't really hear anyone pushing mid, I wonder if they could have gone for the rotate instead of trying to commit onto that A side. As soon as Amaterasu doesn't die from the Hunter Suri, I feel like Shiri should stay back as a distraction and the rest should go on the rotate, but instead they commit onto side, and Deathmaker and Vibor already ready to shut them down. Now look at this, Vibor quite aggressive, gonna get caught out. Unnecessary aggression considering it was the eco of God Particles.
Yeah, that's a huge frag as well.
They get the weapon though.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's going to be really hard to retrieve. If they do, that'll be quite huge. Because they only... Oh no, what is going on, Ember? All that precaution just to die like that. He tried not to peek for so long, and then he just takes out the smoke and tries to peek out in the open. A great shot, another one to follow it through, and LFF.
Spike down B.
Well, he's just mowing them down like it's nothing. Knight Rider has the knives available, and he's looking to stack some bodies up with the knives. He's looking to slice them up, and he will also get the operator in the hand, and that's the infantry one as well. And instantly backs off, trying to get the spike, but he needs to realize the back should be checked. Both the CTs, or both the defenders, are pretty much on the mid. So Knight Rider can try and play a little bit cautious over here. And I like how VLT, they're second-guessing themselves. They're really overthinking the situation.
I think they're just trying to cover every single angle because you can see Amaterasu has the Viper Spirit ready, right? So he's playing purely on the idea that once Knight Rider plants, that's when I'm going to peek, because they're acknowledging the fact that Knight Rider has got his hands on the operator now. Hearing that plant, Amaterasu going to start trying to sneak in. I don't think he spotted out Knight Rider just yet. Actually,
he did.
Now like he did. Yeah, now he did. With Knight Rider's jiggle coming through, the recon will make sure, and a bullet in the head will confirm the round for Velocity Gaming. A bit too close for an eco, I will say, but that's exactly what we expect from our top 2 teams in the India Qualifier 2.
I like how we try to play some mind games over there. Make sure that the SOA is returning all the way back on the A site. Right to A's got kind of played there, but it's fine. In the end, as long as they're able to get the site, that's all that matters. LFF, this man deserves all the credit right there. Taking 3 players down all by himself. That's pretty much where they won the round. But yeah, Knight Rider, if he gets another frag on the board, that could have made VLT sweat for their life.
I also want to just say that it looks like the comms of VLT seem very clean. The fact that they're not peeking him shows that they're expecting him to have the operator after shutting down Deathmaker. So Deathmaker clearly outlining, guys, he's most likely picked up the operator. Don't give him those dry peeks. So now, in the last round, Deathmaker shut down Ember. They're going to enable Knight to find the same peak, but it just does not happen. Deathmaker is so damn quick. He's looking for another because
he
still has his tailwind.
Now he knows.
He's the poison cloud coming up, but he's already moved forward on it now. The Trailblazer will make sure he backs up at a Trailblazer, a guiding light now, a shock dart, as well as the poison cloud, all invested for a single tailwind.
There we go. That's worth it, but that's worth it though. The neural theft's going to give a lot of position away. Not just a lot, those are some key positions being given away now. Right to Ace is pretty much over here in the close. He will be shut down. Logista's over there as well, lining up bodies, and now only 1 bullet in the magazine of Deathmaker. Needs to connect, that shot will miss, but it's fine. Fresh magazine available, will instantly put one in. But LFF trying his best to try and retaliate back in style. Deathmaker will help him in that cause. Neural theft out, and now both players' position given away.
It's Ball Cypher versus Ball Cypher, Necro.
Ooh, let's find out who's the better Dominic Toretto.
Family for the win. And we'll see which family is able to actually find it. Because right now, Deathmaker, his position not revealed just yet. Waiting for that recon to go through so he can find that CT peak. But instead, with the audio cues coming through for Hellfighter, he should tell them, hey, both of them are rotated onto side. They're trying to get the plant down, but he peeks a second too early.
Spike planted.
Ball Logi for the win right now. He's going for the jiggles, but he not able to
Misses.
find the shot. Depmaker and Logi, the one-man army, trying to shut down VLT. It does seem like this round should be Godpi's unless Depmaker pulls off some insane shots.
Yeah, that bullet just whizzes past by and a double peek coming through. Still a quick shot from Deathmaker though. Gotta give props to connect that. But the bullet just whizzing past by the Cypher. I'm pretty sure his death flashed in front of his eyes. But yeah, a nice double peek coming through. I like the coordination both these teams are showing, pretty much on equal page right now.
And you have to wonder, right? Considering the fact that in that moment it was a 2v2, was it the miscomm from the side of Depmaker, not clearly detailing which angles he's covering or not detailing where he's seeing Logi, or rather an early aggression from Hellfire? Because in that 2v2, you need to play for the trades exactly how Godp did. Even though Logi goes down, Shivy is there for the trade. Now once again, similarly, utility invested, the Poison Cloud as well as the Shock Dart coming to deny that Hall's peak, but this time Depmaker is not in that area. Instead, they've posted up right to Ace to get some information, but playing so sneaky, I don't think that drone spotted out Knight Rider.
There we go, Hunter's Fury out to try and get some connections through. But instead, I think so he just hit his own teammate, so that's a little problem. That brings down the board really low. Instant dash on the backside, but still, right to Ace will shut him down. It doesn't really matter. Deathmaker with a huge flank also with the updraft. Might have just given his position away.
No, he's doing it to dodge the Cypher grab button.
Makes a lot of sense. Viper's Pit out on the side to confirm the plan. They should be able to do so. A quick shot to shut down Logista. The Bald Cypher will not have his hair anymore after that. And now Ember on the site with that reload will also give his position away. He's pretty much being surrounded by VLT right now. Fake plant through, the Cypher's in the back. Ember move around. Doesn't turn around and he gets slapped in the back of his head.
You can see Ace explaining why he hit before that round. Before we're like, bro, I know you're the hunter, but you gotta differentiate between teammates and enemies, you know? And Ace being like, bro, I was trying to sneak it between you and them, you know? I'm sorry. Sometimes mistakes happen. But hey, just like that, the 5-3 picked up for VLT. And what you can really notice is even in the last round, Knight wasn't really able to afford the Operator. And I feel like that Operator is an instrumental factor in being able to shut down someone like Depmaker, where you can see continuously again and again he's finding those initial peaks, but this time on the eco, Godpi going for an aggressive push into the C side.
Oh, that's a huge flash, and look at that. Oh my god, how is Vibor able to pull that off? 2 frags back to back, and now Shivy, the man who has a lot of eyes, spots out Deathmaker. Expects early aggression coming through. That's a good one. And a quick peek to shut it down. Burst on the head, but Deathmaker's ready with a single shot. But there we go. Try to bait the shot out. Deathmaker is the man of patience.
But you could see every single time Shivy went for the jump peak, Deathmaker would inch a little to the left, and at this point when he went for the last jump peak, the jump peak itself was not really a jump peak because of how narrow an angle Depmaker was holding. He was effectively seeing the half the body of Shivy as compared to the deeper angle he was holding before. So accounting for that, I really feel like Depmaker has evolved to a large extent from Q1 to Q2 as a player with that Operator. He's really smart, not just about things like this, but even about avoiding chamber traps or Cypher traps, just continuously able to show his in-game spontaneous decision making is on point, which I think is one of the main factors of being able to pull off an insane jet.
Yeah, look at that. That drone also gives away a lot of positions. Oh, 1 guy in the mid, 2 guys over there on the elbow. And now Deathmaker pretty much on the B site. He's holding a really crucial angle too, CA, but God Particles just doing God Particles things, just trying to play some mind games over here. Trailblazers out, and that also is going to be revealing a lot of position. Look at the amount of info that the Soa and Sky are able to provide. It's absolutely insane.
Because this allows Amitarasu to get real aggressive. The Seekers and the Guiding Light telling them they're all towards the back of mid, not exactly in push forward just yet. So now with Depmaker and Hellfighter playing the anchor, Amitarasu casts out Knight Rider, and God Particles, they're fumbling, they're stumbling, and they're falling into VLT's trap.
Yeah, they're getting predicted really well over here, but the Hunter's Fury is causing a lot of problems for Deathmaker, but he still connects it. And Helifev's aim is crisp today. God damn, what did he have for lunch? I mean, lunch, yeah.
I just like Right to Race is like gestures. It's almost like he's dancing. But talking about dancing, man, Deathmaker, did you see that? Avoided the first Hunter's Fury with just precise movement, dashes across the second, avoids the third with, again, just making sure he's on the edge of it, while still managing to find a pick. The amount of APM you need in your hands with your mouse to be able to do that is quite ridiculous. Like, Deathmaker, are you like an RTS player or something? Because those are the only ones I know who have that high APM. 16-5-1 right now. Deathmaker is popping the frick off Necro.
Here.
He is on another level altogether. He wants that showdown in the grand final playoffs.
Yeah, Deathmaker and LFF, they're on rampage. And they want some more in their hands. And look at this now. Vobor with the proactive plays as well, in being really aggressive in mid. And God Particles, this is where they start overthinking. This is where they start questioning themselves. And that's why they're just going to start stacking themselves up against VLT. The site will be full of blood soon.
This push on the basis of that information they got from the Seekers and the Guiding Light is what I would have had to assume, right? Where in that mid-round they get to know that, hey, God Particles is not the sort of team to hard W early. So we can do that. We can try to punish their slow walk-in towards the mid by walking in and taking control ourselves and posting us up in those angles. So VLT, you can see the comms are very clear with respect to what they want to do and what God Particles is doing more importantly. Just that simple idea that, hey, they're not taking mid control very proactively. They're going to walk in. So let's just try to sneak up and punish them. And VLT just flowing in every regard on that aspect. But now 8-3 on the scoreline. The last round in this first half, Necro. An 8-4 itself wouldn't be bad for GodP. So let's see if they can get it done.
Blinded.
Nice blind coming through. But again, look at Deathmaker. He does have the Blade Storm and the Operator available now. This is the op shot, instantly pulls out the Blade Storm. And you gotta realize how OP the Blade Storm and Operator combo is, because it doesn't really take a lot of time to pull out the Blade Storm instantly after missing out an Operator shot, so that's really good.
And that's why all the pros, they get the Blade Storm activated early rounds, so they don't have that extra animation of that coming through. Yeah, without the OP combo. Oh! Deathmaker finds one, but Knight Rider, even though he's left to 1 HP, shuts down Hellfighter and giving his team the call. Now, guys, B-side is up for grabs, but he's going to have to be extra careful. Just on 1 HP.
1 HP indeed, and look at Ember.
I've got your
2
trail.
frags down the board from that man, and Seeker's out as well. The final man over here, right to Ace, is being spotted. Shivi will shut him down. One last man alive, and it's
Get out of my way.
to him. Going for the plant.
30 seconds left.
Not exactly
Spike
spotted, but
planted.
seems like Amaterasu has no plans of backing off today. He is going to go for the clutch. 1v3 situation, has all the advantage in the world. I mean, scratch that, has the HP advantage, but still, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, he's not expecting Shivi in B main because of the fact that I think he's assuming they're going to go for a CT plant and play off of Knight Rider's push into the inside initially. But instead, they go for that window plant. Shivi holding on to B main. They get that read down, and it all started off with this pick. So now Necro 8-4 on the scoreline, and God Particles, they are in a much better spot than they were for most of this half, considering the fact that all they gotta do really is get that Operator back on Knight Rider on the defense, and maybe we get to see the same level of impact that Deathmaker showed on his.
Deathmaker is on 17 kills, CA. He's on a tear. And is looking to rip him apart as well. And we saw yesterday in the attacking side how proactive and aggressive this man can be. There's nothing holding him back. Trailblazers out. Oh, gives a lot of info away if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, because they spotted the Trailblazer coming out in the camera. They make the call, like, everyone step back. Only Ace reveal himself in the Trailblazer. And because of that, God Particles have no idea that this is actually a 4-stack that's going to turn into an XP.
There we go. Cloud burst out, trying to just flush him out with the snake bite. Beautifully played that to perfection. The man on the right gets spotted, is only able to get 2 shots on the board. Oh my gosh, Scar God from the backside, though, has a lot of shaking aim, but still connects a shot. And now it's a 2-on-3 situation. Of course, Knight Rider over here going for the aggressive peek. God Particles do have a man advantage. and they want to convert it into a round win. But again, is that going to be a possible scenario or not? That's the question. Right to ace in the close, left was, well, the right click is just the best gun in the game. Able to find one.
Again, very well done by Hellfighter. The playing off of right to ace's contact, because if he doesn't fight right there, right to ace gets caught and it ends up being just a 1-for-1 trade. Instead, they both get a kill, and now Ace is able to back up. He's playing on the jiggle, giving Hellfighter the information. And despite the utility that Shivy has, he's not going to get much information himself. Knows where they are vaguely, but no idea of the exact position of Hellfighter, and that's going to get him caught.
Oh, almost connected a shot on the Hellfighter as well, but it's fine. VLT just playing that 1-on-2 scenario perfectly, and as you mentioned, right to is having that close angle being caught. LFF peeks out from the long, so all their attention gets diverted towards LFF, and then right to ace in the close is able to do a lot of wonder.
Yeah, and again, it's these small pieces of synchronization that I personally am a big fan of to see in any team, where they're continuously talking to each other is what it shows us, you know. Right to ace is telling, or LFF is calling, hey, I'm going to fake the plant and peek. Just hold on, don't peek so early. He fakes the plant, right to ace finds that pick, and instantly Hellfighter peeks out to shut down that double kill. The comms clearly working out in the favor of Velocity Gaming. But now, talking about comms, once again, he's going for that setup where they don't necessarily show themselves early, waiting for aggression, especially considering that the fact that this is God Particle's economy. It's an eco round.
Drone.
Very smart decision.
Enemy mark.
Again, going to use that drone to clear off the side. They spot one player on backside, and the rush goes in once again.
There we go. Rush is on the side. Deathmaker as well. He's just going to have to be key. He's going to have to pedal to the metal. He's, of course, going to try to be really aggressive in these rounds. Nice shock dart to shut down the man in the back. Ember being shut down. Now we're left with a 2-on-4 situation.
Enemy remaining.
And there we go. 7 bullets in the magazine. He's only going to need 1.
And the casual run and gun to finish it off right there.
The classic Valorant moment.
Yeah. He was quite low though, so I'll give them that. More of a drive-by than a run and gun. Hey, at this point, 10-4 on the scorecard. God Particles feeling the pressure, and you have to remember what we talked about before this map. This map, of course, it is Velocity's choice in as the first map in this best of 5 series, but it is a strong map for God Particles. And after Velocity claimed yesterday that, yo, we don't care about anyone on this map, as long as you leave it up for us for pick, we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna smash you right here, right now. And that's exactly what they're doing, living up to their word. That's got to play into the minds of the side of God Particles. And you can see Shivy not just giving some tactical words, I assume. It's also about the fact that, guys, we need to calm down. I think it's getting a little too chaotic from the side of God Particles. Maybe giving a little too much information or not giving information at all. Of course, we have to guess. We don't know for sure. But it looks like that in the sense that those simple things where the Trailblazer does not spot out all 4 players, or for example, where Ember gets caught out in the shock dart and doesn't really have backup ready for him, shows that they're not necessarily expecting these moves from Velocity Gaming. And given the nature of the style of God Particles and their play, really those reads and those expectations that every individual player has, not just Shivy, plays a huge and instrumental role in getting them the victory.
So many cages, but still get spotted. That's so unfortunate. They exactly know where it's available too, man. Shivy just giving this calls away. Knows the man's pretty much trapped. But it's Cypher's job to pretty much make people fall in his trap, so LFF doing exactly that. Tried to back off, but still caught a bullet in the head. It's a 4-on-4 situation. Keep this in mind. The rifle's in the hands of God Particles, so each and every single man's...
Deathmaker.
It's really important. There you go. Deathmaker finds one. Does not expect the second one, but it's fine. Amaterasu from mid. Just a really coordinated play from Velocity.
Yeah, I feel for Deathmaker. He's just trying to get a weapon there, but hold on. Scarguard again has a really strong position. They spotted out his head, but they don't turn in time. Amaterasu shuts down one. But the 1-for-1 trade is worth it for Velocity Necro, because this is their bonus round. The full buy for God Particles now starting to fall apart. The guiding light tells them that there's someone in A side, and they're like, yo, we don't want to risk it. He's still got that weapon advantage over us.
left.
We're going to go for that play, bro.
Oh no, gets spotted in the mid, still lines him up, and how? How does he win that? Ember just catches them while they're trying to rotate. Knives in the hand, where hands were kind of busy, but Ember's hands, oh my god, they're precise.
Spike down.
How does he just
One enemy
beat him
remaining.
like
I
that?
have to assume that it's just a timing factor where they peeked out a second too early. They put the recon. They're expecting Ember to come through, maybe come through from the mid doors, or even like surprise them with a lurk coming in aggressively. But they don't wait for the recon to reveal all of it, and they just wait. I think they waited for one scan, and the first scan didn't reveal him. And then towards the end of the first scan or the start of the second scan is where I think he got revealed. So the timing catching them off guard, beautifully played by Ember to pull off that round from the dying clutches of Botby's
Oh my
hands.
God.
But not for dying clutches. VLT going for a rush. They're just getting caught in the middle of a lot of utility. They're not even able to get in onto site. Amitarasu is that stranded.
It's just a huge flood of utilities on the A side, so they're not even able to find a safe ground. Foot's pretty much being cut off as soon as they try to get it on the board. So 55
enemy
HP in the hands
remaining.
of Shivy, but it's fine. At
down
least he gets
A.
traded out. So Scargod's going to be a happy man after that huge trade. LFF with the
enemy
flank,
remaining.
catches one man, try to shut down the Seeker, but now pretty much the same movement. This is a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, and you gotta feel so bad for that, where they, I mean, they can't really be blamed for that. Scargod gets caught out, and you can see immediately his teammate tries to go for the trade here, Ember, but Hellfighter with just the perfect crosshair correction just instantly goes up as soon as he spots Ember picking up, doesn't care about the Seeker, knows that he has to win that duel right then and there, and it's so hard, for me at least, on the Phantom to have that burst settled in my mind, but your burst move, it allows you to control your recoil so well, and it's not the first time Hellfighter's done it. He did it before holding on to that side, gets velocity there, buy down win, and Deathmaker spots head, Deathmaker pops head. Oh, it sounds very casual, but it is Deathmaker.
Deathmaker saying, I'm Poppy.
Champion League of Legends.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
It's also Ghost's nickname. Poppy? The tryout coach. Yeah, his nickname is Poppy.
talking about nicknames, but this is something that's gonna make Knight Rider change his name for sure. But Scargod finding that huge frag, 60 HP on the board, and Velocity pretty much a team ace to close out the previous round. Velocity just looking in sync, and they're looking unstoppable.
And you can see they're relaying information from the positions of God Particles member in this round. Hellfighter, I think, confused about a certain player, maybe about how Scargod was able to find himself in that position. While Hellfighter was dealing with Logi, you could see Logi was behind him, Scargod in front, and Hellfighter didn't really have as much backup. He's like, where were you guys? And Amitarasu likely just explaining, like, bro, we're trying to get on the site. Come on.
Yeah, man. Just let him get on the site.
Walk out.
Look at that, Hellfighter had all the money in the world, still opts to go for the Guardian buy. It's one of his specialties. Even before it got buffed, he used to love running this Guardian, but now with the buff, so much stronger, might catch out this operator right here.
Oh my god, he does. And well, doesn't even need to utilize the buff. It's just one bullet connecting onto his head, and that's all he's going to be enough. He's going to be satisfied with just that one bullet. He's also got the operator in the hands. I want to see what LFF has got to deliver with this. Oh, misses that shot. This is why it's not the operator.
Take flight.
Oh, he's not the operator. Now we know the reason why he's not the operator in VLT, but there you go. Try to redeem himself. Finds another one on the board. And now it's all down to the final man alive. Let's just trying to keep his team's hopes and dreams alive. It was the final round as well, and VLT pretty much take the first map in their hands with a dominating lead over God Particles. And the breeze pretty much being secured now, looking to secure the upcoming maps. Yeah.
You can see right away, so pumped. The rest of VLT feeling that energy coming in from him. They are on a roll, Necro. A quick defeat handed to True Rippers to get into this finals, and it looks like they just want to keep the pedal to the metal, not even give God Particles a second to breathe, let alone adapt.
I mean, God Particles just didn't know what to hit him like the whole time. They were just not able to get the read on what exactly was happening. Even on the defense side, like pretty much VLT was just able to get the reads through. They're like, all right, what exactly happened? In the first couple of rounds, we did see God Particles were doing really good in that defense, and this is what we know that, right? We keep on saying God Particles is really good at defense, but on the offense, they kind of lack sometimes. And this is where they tried their best to fill up the flaws. Don't get me wrong. They have improved quite a lot from what we saw last time. But again, there are a couple of flaws left, and they will try their best to fill them up in the upcoming map. Let's just find out.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because the next map is the map of their choice. They really do need to step it up, because I feel like if they're not able to pick it up in the map of their choice, then it might just be over before they even get to think about what went wrong, because VLT are on a completely different tempo. They're coming into this series. Depthmaker 19 and 11, but for me, really, once again, it's not just a one-man show. Like, Depthmaker definitely carried a lot of that responsibility on the defense especially, but the comms and the reads were where I was absolutely in awe of the way Velocity were playing. Even in the last round, if you notice, as soon as the Hellfighter gives them the information of where the last 3 players are remaining, they're not necessarily rushing in with that information. They're not like getting overwhelmed by that information and trying to instantly convert it. No, you saw Vibor with the Trailblazer try to ensure that they haven't all stacked up or rotated onto one side. They make sure they isolate the duos and use their numbers advantage well. Velocity just checking off all of the boxes right now.
Yeah, I don't know. A dominating lead on Breeze, and 5-13 was the scoreline. VLT not even making it look close, so not even breaking a sweat on the first map. So God Particles, I don't know what they've got in the bag. They better have their confidence boosted up as well, because if they don't, the VLT is going to thrive off of that. And they do like to get the momentum in their hands too, because we've seen VLT, they've improved quite a lot from what we saw last time in 2021. So VLT, they're going to keep on improving, but I want to see what God Particles have got in the map of Split, because Split is their pick, but we've seen VLT do really good on Split as well.
VLT have done really well on Split as well, Necro, bro. I think it's a comfort map for God Particles in the sense that they know their attacking issues that we've seen on other maps, they don't necessarily exist there. The only thing that I have noticed has been the idea that Logi is so much better as a passive lurker or a passive anchor as compared to an active lurker. And on the map of Split, it really has to be that Viper stepping up, taking that responsibility. So I want to see if he's able to do that. But right now, Logi, he himself had a beautiful performance in this map. You can see the best player for his team, but I think that itself speaks to a large extent with regards to, for example, Scar or Knight not being able to find the consistency they had throughout VCC Qualifier 1 and 2, because it did feel like Velocity just overwhelmed them.
Yeah.
In every single scenario, in every single situation, it felt like Velocity were just like, you don't get to play the way you played against GE. You don't get that slow match. We are going to up the tempo to another like 10 degrees, and it's insane the way they're able to do it.
And it's the funny part is, like, they were just keeping them guessed, right? In some rounds we saw VLT going really proactive. In some rounds we saw them kind of taking really passive no, where they were not even giving those picks away. So God Particles, they were like, okay, in the previous round we saw them going really proactive on this side of the map, so maybe we should set some people up over there, and then later on they're just not finding any picks over there because they're just not going really aggressive the next time. So kind of like the guessing factor kept in coming for the side of VLT, and that's what kept VLT, God Particles, always on their knees. But moving in forward, viewer rewards, of course, for you guys, exclusive merchandise. All you guys need to do to apply for this is go on your social medias, Instagram, Twitter, anything, make a post saying hashtag VCC, and also tag at NODWIN Gaming at that post, and you guys will have a huge chance of winning the exclusive VCC merchandise. Another giveaway that we have to unlock for you guys, if we reach the live mark of 50,000 live watching on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook overall, anywhere, we're probably going to be given 50,000 worth of Amazon gift cards, which is pretty much 1,000 each.
Such a massive giveaway, guys. Make sure everyone is coming watching, because it's not just a giveaway, they need to be watching. We're still in for a thriller of a series. First map, don't get me wrong, of course, VLT have set the stage. That gauntlet that we talked about that was thrown by them, they've taken it by the reins and being like, yo, this series is our God Particles. You want the win? Come get it.
Well, I mean, the series, it does look like, at least off the first map, they're able to just pretty much kick things off really well. They're on fire right now. They're on a rampage, but still, God Particles is in the grand finals for a reason. They're here to prove something. Moving on in the map of Split, I want to see them proving that exact point. But again, before that, you guys will have to wait a little bit, because we're going to be right back after a short break.
Chilling in the chair, I'll be sipping it. Watch a bunch of shows, I'm getting it. Yeah, I understand it's a quarantine. I got to be chilling all alone, but I'm getting sick. People who be running after the office, signing politics, and scrambling to tell the kid to stop. I ain't gonna leave the room. I don't wanna kill a few with that this shit that is inside my car. Flip the drop, chicken it bigger than now, taking a part of the crowd. Don't wanna pop, I don't wanna them down, better be kicking them out. Look at the box, smoking loud up in my damn house. Solo though I know I'm never going on and out. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't got a lot to prove. And if I'm moving, then I'm grooving, cause I wanna do it. Stupid, got my music and I lose it to another tune or two. If I don't get to move it, even real can do it when I'm cooking. And you know I'm cooking bacon. You don't wanna check under the apron. Vacuum the whole room naked, facing windows so people who out getting the greatness. Telling me better to hate this, really though it ain't shit when you could compare to what the other people facing. So what I am drinking, still half full is true when comparing to the nation. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Party on my own.
Give me my shot, give me my shot, give me my shot. Here it comes. I don't give a damn, I don't care, I don't care.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, man, I'm not gonna lie, because the first map was just so shocking. I'm still in shock. So yeah, to NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship with grooming partner Gillette.
It's because nobody is a gentleman here in this series. You know, they're all out for blood. That's why we've got the red team going on, because we expect to see a lot of blood. That's why I really want to call gentlemen, but they're not gentlemen. So.
Are they really the gentlemen, though? But yeah, moving forward, man, second map is going to be the map of Split, and I'm pretty sure each and every single viewer, and also us, we have our nerves rattling, because I want to see what's going to happen in Split, because CA said God particles are pretty much perfect, next to perfect, or pretty much good, we could say, on both the sides, even on the defense and even on the offense. But now what I want to see is, are we going to see like the rays being pulled out over here? I'm pretty sure God particles are going to stay to their comfort. They're going to pretty much probably pull out the jet. But on the other hand, Deathmaker, it has to go on rays, because we've seen he's pretty good on rays as well.
For me, the bigger question is, do they continue with that KO on Shivi? Because we haven't really seen that KO being utilized to its fullest potential. It's usually that KO combined with Knight Rider on the Sage to give them that extra bit of maneuverability with Scar God's Rays, right? But I would like to see a world where they're happy, instead of playing KO, just play a Breach. You can play that Breach Race combo, or even a Sky for that matter, because right now that KO is just not able to find impact, especially against an IGL like Amaterasu, where I'm sure, having played the KO himself, he's going to know exactly what to expect. But then again, I think what God Particles have proved beyond a doubt is that they themselves are a team that puts in a lot of time and dedication into getting their facts right, into getting their preparation done. So maybe Shivi has found a way to make that KO super impactful, and he will make Velocity feel powerless.
I mean, I do understand, yeah, there are a lot of ways that Shivi can try and utilize the KO, but is he really able to utilize it? That's the question. I feel like Shivi isn't really that comfortable. Let's be honest. We talk about the comfort zone of a player, and I feel like when Shivi pretty much tries to play the KO, he pretty much steps out of his comfort zone, and where he kind of starts like shaking a little bit. I mean, not exactly shaking, but like he starts like double guessing himself. He doesn't really find the right timing to use those utilities, because we know how important KO can be to shut down that breach, to shut down that Sky on the sites. And pretty much to shut down the control as well while the pushes are coming through. So KO has just so much reliability, and the problem is each and every single teammate is pretty much relying on your utility to stop the flow of the push that is going to come from the attacking side, and that in itself can add a lot of pressure. Now we saw yesterday Amaterasu pretty much play the KO, and he was playing it really fluidly, and this is where the experience comes in through. Amaterasu has played a lot of big competitions, he's played in a lot of big tournaments, and even last time they made it to the grand final playoffs, grand finals, so he already has a lot of experience in itself, so he's able to keep it together.
Yeah, absolutely. And to add on to your point, Necro, it's also because of the tempo with which Velocity Gaming play, right? That KO becomes that much more instrumental to shutting down that tempo. If you're not able to do that, suddenly you start having question marks, because it's not the slow playstyle that GE plays where you can find pockets of being using that 0 point of getting information. No, you have to time it perfectly, or Velocity will be all over your face, ready to overwhelm you. And I think that's where I am having big question marks about this KO pick. And it's not question marks in the sense that I'm doubting Shivy. It's more in the sense that what preparation has he done? I'm excited to see.
I mean, honestly, I just want Shiva to not crack under a lot of pressure over here playing KO, because as we talked about, as I pretty much gave like a whole textbook of an explanation how reliable KO can be, and that's why there can be a lot of pressure on the IGL himself, because he also need to deal with the comms and stuff.
We notice oh wait, never mind. I swear to God, I saw a Sage locked in on the left-hand side for VLT, and I was
That's
like...
cap.
Okay, maybe I need to go back on the stream, because I swear, maybe I just saw the golf particles light up. No, I'm pretty sure, and I was like, did they change? Because usually we see Vibor on this pick on the Raze, and I'm like, why isn't he playing the Raze? But you can see clearly for the side
God
of
Particles
Velocity.
has a Sage.
Yeah, I know, but I'm so confused. I thought I saw Ace lock in that Sage, but I'm like, okay, never mind.
Okay, guys, CA did not really have a good night's sleep, and just kind of seeing things over here. I'm just kidding. Moving it forward, Ember is able to find the opening, and that's a huge one as well. VLT now, pretty much, we saw the last time as well, they were not really looking that confident in the pistol rounds, but then after that, they were able to kick things off pretty well. So maybe even if this pistol round does manage to slip by their hands,
Spike planted.
it's okay. HellFF's aggression might just be caught, but no, it's going to be the answer. Able to connect that crucial headshot. Man advantage now taken away. This is where God Particles does hear a lot of sound cues from the Seavers, and Deathmaker, is he going to be going for the teeth check? And he does, and he still manages to find it. Deathmaker is just a bird, or actually scratch that, he's a bunny over here.
Oh, but Shivy getting caught out. He really needed to find a pick in that situation, but that 0 point just not quick enough. It doesn't even matter. They just overwhelm him, shut him down. Now in this plant, they've got a 2v3 on the retake, but with the players so low, it might be easier than they expect. While healing, Hellfighter gets
Ember's on a rampage.
And like you said, Ember is on a tear in that pistol, finds that 4K, and is able to push it through. I just went back and checked, so that Sage was hovered by right to race, which is why I got confused for a second. He hovered the wrong healer, and I'm like, oh? It's supposed to be Sky.
Okay, maybe he did it on purpose just to confuse you.
Yeah, probably.
You gotta slide into his DMs and say, why do you do that?
Nah, I mean, I've got used to it. You remember back in VCC 1 where they would continuously flash that KO in the sky just to mess with me because I wanted to see it so much, but nobody would ever pick it. All teams like messing with me. What can we do? Such is life. Yeah. But hey, talking about what's happening right now, God Particles on the anti-eco, the eco force of Velocity Gaming, and you can see very aggressive on that mid control. Got P, a couple of shots, but it won't be disaster just yet. The Spectre saving their lives.
VLT definitely whiffed a lot of shots there, though. They had a fair bit of chance to try and take out a player, but still, whiffing those shots, not really shots landing on the mark. HellFF was like, all right, maybe this burst, I'm going to be able to find someone, but then instantly just gets slapped across the board. Final man left alive is Deathmaker, making his way out of Seavers now. Deathmaker's pretty much job is here is to try and take out someone. And I like how he's like moving away, moving his mouse so fast that the Sheriff is moving just like a teeny tiny bit later. And it reminds me of Jelly. Oh! Talk about Jelly, though! After that shot, he's definitely gonna be trapped in one.
Yeah, after that shot, the only thing Jelly is the teammates of, or his teammates. They're like, bro, how do you hit shots like that? I'm very jealous. Okay. A really nice anti-eco for the side of God Particles. One weapon loss shouldn't be much of an issue whatsoever. I don't even think the KO on Shivy had... Oh, he did have a Spectre. So. Just one Spectre loss. They get to move on to this next round. Shivy will... The classic support player be like, bro, I don't need the Spectre. You guys take it. I got your back with just the Sheriff. They get to play a pure bonus. And off to a great start. God Particles, exactly what they needed in map 2 of this grand finals.
Oh my god, this is so perfect. Scarguard pretty much satcheling out and also catching VLT reward there. The utility placement just came in so well. And pushing VLT for that extra direction on the mid. Right to Ace is the only man trying to hold off this flood. But again, as I said, it's a flood. It's really hard for a single man to try and hold it off. So right to Ace now has a lot of eyes locked on him. There are like 5 people in front of him. Is he going to be able to line him up? No, it's going to be the answer. HellFF all the way in the backside, though. Still alive. And he can try and pop him out. And that's what exactly happens. So 1-on-2 situation. Ember's feeling himself today. Needs to check his back, and he does exactly that. Finds a frag. Looking to follow it up. Almost a millisecond later. Manages to get the rotation in. And he's probably going to try to rotate all the way back on the A side. He's probably hurt the footsteps as well.
He has the Cosmic Divide. If he can set that up and then go for an open plant, I think it'll give him a lot of agency for inside. Going for the close, safe plant right here. I assume he's going to use the Cosmic Divide to create some space, but I guess he's just feeling himself too much. Going for the dry peak, and Hellfighter shuts him down. I'm not going to take that away from Ember. He has been on a tear. I can understand the logic when you're hitting your shots left, right, center. You want to go for that fight right then and there and try to surprise Hellfighter. But this is why I call Hellfighter the most consistent player from Velocity Gaming. There's rarely ever a mark, like out of 10 times, I think 9 times he will usually make sure he hits that shot.
Yeah, no, Hellfighter is just so good, man. He always has like the crosshairs trained. I've never ever seen this man, you know, kind of like cracking under a lot of pressure. He's like able to put the performance on the board no matter what the scoreline is. And that's a sign of a really consistent player. 1-2 is the scoreline. VLT finally gets a round on the board. And that's...
Despite the win, though, it was the bonus for God Particles, so the eco is broken. Now they have the full buy for themselves, whereas VLT stuck on some Spectres and Bulldogs. You can see they're trying to convert them into mid-range and close-range battles to find some sort of equality in it, but it's easier said than done. Vibor is getting a lot of pressure in holding down this B Heaven and mid-side. I think they need to change up their defaults. Maybe play Amitarasu in Wentz with the wall they're setting up, because right now, every single round, God Particles get mid-control for free.
Look at the flow as well from the attacking side, man. They've already found the entry through the Wentz, and while Deathmaker's not expected over here. He pretty much used their own Poison Cloud against them, and he played that out perfectly. 0 point out as well to try and suppress the man in the heaven, which is Wabor. He's not going to have his utilities anymore to stop the push. But look at Shivy now. Pretty much uses that fragment to try and deny, or at least buy as much as time as possible. But LFF missing quite a lot of shots there, but it's fine. Vapor will wrap up from the back.
Ooh. And you see Deathmaker's got his hands in that Champions Vandal. I want to see now who the top fragger is to know if it's going to light up for someone else real quick, because you can see VLT with this win, not only did they equalize the scoreline, but more importantly, this was the full buy for God Particles, so they've demolished their economy. They're going to have to be stuck on playing with just some pistols. And right here is where I want to see that change in default like I was talking about. Mid control is still being gained for the side of God Particles for free, but they're not going to go towards that mid this time. I feel like they should just try and attack Vibor as much as possible, because they are getting value out of that.
Talk about getting value out of that. This is where God Particles will need to try and get as much as value as possible. The concussion, HellFF will fall back, but still is on the aggressive footing, trying to be as proactive as possible. The flood comes through from the side of God Particles, but this time they're trying to stop it, but Ember's able to follow it on with another one. Vapor's Paint Shell will close out one man.
Spike down.
And look at the trades coming through from the side of God Particles. It's just absolute perfection. Viper's Pit out as well. And now VLT, they're going to be having a lot of info being denied because of this Viper's Pit. They're going to have a harder time to try and breach in the Viper's Pit for sure. Both the players are on the flank. A nice snake bite. Chip some damage off from Deathmaker. Amaterasu has already found an entry, and that's not a good sign. That's the first man taken care of, and well, another one will fall in through its Deathmaker.
Yeah, and at that point, I think, again, this is the issue, right? Where that we were talking about that KO impact. Again, nothing to take away from the actual aim factor of God Particles in this round. You can see Ember really feeling himself, shuts down Vibor quite easily. But when it comes down to Hellfighter getting so much time on site, I wonder if that 0 point could come slightly earlier. Suppress that Astra before you move into site, so she can't do that pull, she can't do that concuss, and that way she's just stuck in the back of site. Like, to even add on to that, you saw Hellfighter add on an extra star so he could bring up a new smoke for himself. He couldn't even do that if he was suppressed, and that's why I wonder if that Sky might have been better for the style that God Particles play, because it allows them to play much more towards when they want to move as compared to that KO when it's completely dependent around this 0 point.
That's what I exactly said as well, right? It's just so much pressure, and Shivi's man is not able to deal with it. But still, this is a good entry being found from Scar God, and Ember followed up as well. Nice trades. The trade factor giving them a man advantage as well. Somewhere down line, the presence of mine not there, but Shivi follows it up. A nice proactive nature for Ember. Being really aggressive in the defender side.
Spike
Finds
planted.
another one. It's all down to the IGL. The brilliant man to clutch out. Is he going to be able to clutch it, though? That's the question.
This round, though, well utilization of that 0 point. I think the faster nature of defaults from the side of God Particles is where we see them succeed. But hold on, Amaterasu, he's found one pick, shut down. The player feeling himself the most. Can't really use his Viper's Spit, because as soon as the suppress is over, Shivi times it to perfection, makes him powerless, but the aim is still there, Necro. He spots the head of that KO.
Oh my god,
And
close.
so close, but not enough. Shivi managing to find the clutch, but a lot of utility being forced from Amaterasu, because I was thinking, like, maybe now they could use that KO null command in the next round to force mid exactly the way they did in this round, but that's not going to happen. But hey, you know what? It's worth it. 3-3 on the scoreline for God Particles. I think given what happened in that last map, it's important for them to make sure they're not getting overwhelmed, and they're doing that with a large degree of success.
And I honestly feel like they're playing really scared over here, man. God Particles needs to stop playing so scared. I do understand it was a 1-on-3 situation. They could have went for a little bit more aggressive approach. Pretty much could have tried to set up a crossfire on the site, on the pillar, and pretty much have one more man watch their back on the B main, and also watch the heaven. So.
Oh, look at Logi. Deathmaker's pushing. Logi's gonna catch him out. This was the eco of the side of Velocity, so the read is strong from GodP. They expect that aggression, and they punish it immediately.
Yeah, Deathmaker pretty much being cut off instantly. With Boris on the right side behind the box. Nades out from Scar God to find a clear rotation and also put a halt to that push. Knight Rider pretty much securing that spot in the B main. And now here comes the push. Double satchel on the site. Scar God's finally found his presence. The foot's on the site now. Scar God looking to line him up, but still misses a lot of shots. Party's out, but still it gets shut down instantly by LFF. He's like, not today, little boy. LFF shutting down the boy and now pretty much putting the rookie in the grave. It's a 2-on-3 situation. Both of them have the ultimates available. And they can try and go for the Viper's Pit for sure, but LFF's Sheriff is where it's all going to come down to. The Sheriff shut down. The Judge's Wall is trained, but this time it's not trained enough.
Knight Rider taking up Battle Sage duties as he finds the 4K and shuts him down. And again, a key factor of that round. I love the way that this small thing has changed for the side of God Particles. As soon as they realize that the Astra is suppressed on site, they get the call from the Raze. Scar God telling them that, yo, he just shot me down, he's somewhere near backside, go rush him real quick. They do exactly that, and with that they're able to pick up the round. Velocity Gaming now on the back foot, but with the buy coming in, you can see Deathmaker's operator is online, and he was on an absolute tear with this operator in the last map. Now the satchel with the grenades, sorry, the gravity well with the grenades is the satchel that keeps Starguard alive for now, but A-main completely denied because of that Viper's Pit. It will allow the side of Velocity Gaming to play a heavy stack towards that mid area.
Oh man, Scarga's not able to pop off today. He needs to definitely get in the groove.
Oh, look at that Maker. He's expecting it.
Oh, Mo. is being really aggressive as well. Yeah, as you mentioned, he expects the push coming through. First man peeks out and Wall the head gets cut off instantly, and it's the Scar God as well. Feel really bad for Scar God because the rookie's being shut down over and over again. He's not able to pop off today. He's the man who has the job of finding the entry frag, and look at how close Deathmaker's lined up his crosser. He knows someone's going to try to jiggle peek it.
You will not kill my allies.
Right now, they're trying to take mid control, but Vibor playing a bait setup with Hellfighter jiggling for him. He's going to try to attract the attention towards himself, and nobody's going to check Vibor's angle. He finds one, and Hellfighter immediately plays on the contact. A beautiful bait setup between that Astra and the Raze.
But the Scar God pretty much coming back alive, and that's huge. Keep this in mind, the Cosmic Divide is still available from LFF, and they will only go for it if only necessary. Yeah, no utilities to try and cross over, and they both will be shut down instantly, lining them up left and right. VLT playing that previous round perfectly.
Concealment. 30 seconds left.
Absolutely. And for the side of Velocity, they are starting to find their groove. You know, that simple setup, for example, towards the mid side where Vibor's like, guys, I'm getting punished very heavily playing alone. Need some backup, and the reason they can afford to provide that backup is because Deathmaker is playing the anchor operator, where Hellfighter will be playing B every single round as the anchor. This time, because of the operator solo setup, they can afford to play double stack before he gets the help, and Hellfighter, Deathmaker just gets to pop the heck off. It's a similar story to Breeze. Deathmaker on this operator just is going to run away with this map unless God Particles find a way to shut him down. I want to see a bit of a 0 point. Just get a knife in his face, get his dash away, flash him, and just double satchel into his face. Even if you get a 1-for-1.
Yeah. 4 rounds on the board for both the teams. Scoreline pretty much equalized. It's tied up, but still, VLT, they're looking really confident. On the other hand, God Particles, the indecisive nature pretty much kicking in. They don't exactly know what to do at this point in time in the game. Poison Cloud's out as well. Oh, I love this read. I love this read. VLT, they know exactly what's going to happen over here. Yep, the first man's going to get pulled in the gravity well. Here comes the spam. They're trying to stop the push. Knight Rider's down quite low. He will be shut down instantly. Amaterasu up on the heaven, and there you go. He just lines him up. A flawless round from VLT, and that's going to boost up their confidence.
Yeah, a huge round for Velocity Gaming is going to make sure, as you said, they get into that groove. And I feel like now it's once again coming to that same question on Breeze where God Particles are just not able to find options to shut down the defaults of Velocity Gaming. And Deathmaker's operator is such a big part of it where it almost comes back to that point you mentioned. Are God Particles scared almost? Because you can see the way they're playing right now, they don't really want to attack Deathmaker's operator as much as any other team might want to, considering he's playing that solo anchor role. Velocity, they're expecting this. They're like, okay, Deathmaker, this time we're gonna play a duo with you. Send Hellfighter back to his original duty of that B solo Astra anchor setup. But this should be revealed with that single 0 point. It spotted out both Amaterasu as well as Vibor, knowing that these two players playing towards this B area, they should acknowledge that it's probably either Deathmaker playing solo B or Astra playing solo B. And I think Logi has an idea that Deathmaker's here, so they should just attack this Astra.
Here.
Oh, they're calling for the Cosmic Divide.
They are, but look at the confidence being shown from the side of Deathmaker. Yeah, you can clearly see on the B side as well, the Cosmic Divide. It's marked.
Concealment.
LFF will be pretty much trapped on the left side if the Cosmic Divide does actually come
You are divided.
through. There you go. Cosmic Divide's out. Nice pain shield to try and stop the push, but still, they will only be stopped for a little while. Amaterasu follows it up, and Scar God will pretty much try to line it up. Showstopper's out, but he doesn't exactly know that another man is right there or not.
30
and the
seconds
entire
left.
push is just failed because they're too scared to rush in. God Particles, the separation not really working out for them, but maybe now it'll work out. Deathmaker's able to dash away. Still in the vents area. Ember being spotted at the last moment. Deathmaker exactly knows. He gives the calls out as well, saying that there is a man in the
10
vents.
seconds left.
Right to us, expecting him from the heaven. But the call's clear. I think so. God Particles, they just want to go for a save and some exit frags.
One enemy remaining.
Oh no.
Actually going to be VLT who ends up getting those exit frags. Scarguard does get one, Nice glow on that Champions Vandal, but again, it feels like VLT are a step ahead in terms of the defaults, where in this round they're able to play that solo anchor on the Astra, but switch it up as soon as they realize that they have a lot more space towards mid that they were not having in those initial rounds. And I feel like to break that God Particles, they just need to force as soon as they get information on that KO 0 point. I'm not saying that they need to force the area they get the information. They need to force some area though. Because for example, in that last round where they got a note that, hey, the Viper and the Raze are playing this mid site, they know that the operator is there because of Loki's jump peaks.
Oh.
They should just try and
Still
either
peeks out.
force the operator or force the other
God.
side, but instead, Loki goes at it alone to get shot.
Yeah, nah, Deathmaker just has a lot of confidence, and at this point in the game, it's going to be really hard to shut this man down. He's just going to keep living on their fear. He's just feeding off of their fear. He knows they're scared to peek him. And that's what he's exactly finding the advantage in. Right to Ace again goes on the aggressive page, even though he tried to back out. Showstopper's out. Deathmaker's pretty much shrouded in the smoke, but this time, he gets found right there. But Right to Ace is there in the back. He's just so effortlessly taking him out. He's able to flick on back and forth. And God Particles, they're being shut down as if...
Poison's gone.
I don't even know, man, what to say at this point. God Particles are just being treated like rookies over here.
I mean, in a certain way, you can almost see that this is the issue with them not having necessarily faced the same kind of style that Velocity Gaming is bringing to the table before. Whenever they played against GE, it was usually either very slow or very fast in the round in terms of aggression. But in terms of tempo, GE are never this fast. It's only Velocity and teams like Two Rippers that like to play this fast and are still able to succeed. And in that regard, you can see the composition of God Particles has not been tested. They don't necessarily have practice against what to do with it, and they are getting caught off guard. But this round, I love the aggression, I love the proactivity from the side of VLT. Sorry, from the side of God Particles. You can see Scarguard, he's double satcheled his way in, got control of Vents, and he's gonna keep the attention of that Raze here. But again, because of that Viper A-main, Viper's Pit, it allows them to play a heavy stack towards this B and mid area. Even though Deathmaker is holding down B-main on his lonesome, the minute he dashes away,
He's gonna find it. He's gonna find the frag here. Ride it down, he's gonna peek again. Yep, peeks out again, finds it. The null commands out as well. But he gets shut down. That's such a questionable way to play it. KO right there. Viper's Pit out, but he's the only man left alive. He just doesn't have anyone to back him up. Ultimate's on the board. He's able to follow it up with another one, but still he's gonna get spotted. He still needs to get the spike control in the hand. Spike's still not in the hand. Well, just yep. It's just the pressure stacking up on God Particles now. And how are they gonna find a safe way out of it? This is what I'm wondering too. And after this half, CA, VLT, they're looking really dominant.
And remember, this map is the choice of the side of God Particles. They need to find a way to push through in this map. They need to find a way to find success, because if not, it will just feel like it's all but over. It's all she wrote when you go onto a map like Haven, where Velocity is so damn comfortable. Now, I will say, generally, God Particles much better on the defense than they are on the attack, and they've got that A4 goal line to try and once again push forward, make it happen. But it's not as easy in this map on defense when they've not got Knight Rider on the Jet, Necro. The Sage, yes, she can op. Knight Rider most definitely does op on the Sage, but it's not the same story. They instead have to going to rely on the anchor setups that the way the Viper and the Sage provide, and you can see instantly that Hellfighter trying to bait out with some knives, but peek right here. It's not gonna happen. Knight Rider trying to stay disciplined.
Oh my God.
Waits for the flash and goes for
but
the
still
peek.
missed.
But yeah, he whiffs.
The right click is not reliable, man. Sometimes it can be a little RNG as well, so maybe you should have just went for the taps. Went for the right click. Maybe you should have just went for the first right click and then followed up with some taps. That could have worked out.
I like left click, right click always works well for me, because that way you've already got your crosshair on point. In pistol rounds, of course, not in narrow situations. But right now, talking about a narrow situation, Loki is gonna get caught in out of place. A very questionable place to push in and turn off your Viper wall. It's almost like you're expecting VLT to miss. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's indeed not going to happen. Look at this. Ember pretty much aggressing through. How can you not expect a man in hell? Ember, you gotta expect a man in hell all the time over there. You cannot just leave it unchecked like that. And God Particles, the pressure clearly building up on them, and it's making them overthink. And because they're overthinking so much, they're forgetting to check some rookie angles. And that's why they're falling down like that. Shivy, the final man left alive, has a decent amount of utilities available. Quick burst, but that's not going to be enough. And I also heard you saying TP. Imagine maybe the future character in a Valorant who has a teleport ability.
Why future? There's Yoru.
No. I'm saying he can make a portal for his teammates.
Ah, something like a Wraith, I see. That would be really interesting.
That'll be cool.
Maybe Yoru's rework will include that. That would be really cool. Like maybe he could set up some sort of portal for his team, his new ultimate being something like that.
Ooh. Or maybe Valorant can just implement a new character called Wraith.
Toxins going up.
Might have some copyright issues there, but right now, let's focus on the map. It is the anti-eco from the side of Velocity. The aggression coming in the eco for Lord P. And the 1v1 is worth it for them. They get a Spectre for it. But VLT
get a Spectre. VLT get the sight. Still, yeah, Deathmaker pretty much is holding those aggressive angles as expected. Same thing goes with the boards. Pretty much duelist on the duties. Talk about duties. 2 players all the way in the back, and the defender spawn. Knight Rider. Oh, quick shot. Nice paint shells. That was a gravity ball and paint shells combination coming through. And there we go. Another one out. The Satchel not really finding any connections, and still both these teams taking as much as time as possible. God Particles, they do not want this retake. All they want is just some kills, and that's what they exactly going for. Nice burst on his head, but still not able to follow it up.
And it's quite unfortunate right now for God Particles. You have to feel like this team is not able to really step up to their true potential because of the high tempo nature with which Velocity Gaming is overwhelming them, just swamping them in every single way. I like the push. The 5-stack coming across, they get a weapon for themselves, but Velocity, they stay a step ahead, and maybe even getting slightly lucky with the fact that Amitarasu was a solo player in that mid area. They get a site for free and very advanced post-plant positions, at which point it's almost impossible to retake against that. But again, see, this is what I mean, that 0 point used really early. Sure, they spot out the Viper, but what actually are they getting off of it? If you want information, in that case, just play a Sova or a Sky for that matter, you still get information.
The alarm boom. That's what I'm going to call it from now. But yeah. 10-4 is the scoreline. VLT having a huge lead. And keep this in mind, God Particles isn't just one of those teams. If VLT are able to dominate God Particles like this, then a lot of fingers can be raised in global esports. But moving it forward, God Particles, yeah, they're just getting decimated right now. VLT seems like there's just an unstoppable force of nature. 3-on-4 situation. Shivy missing a couple of shots, and he gets caught off guard. Instant to follow it up. Knight Rider is going to be the man to pretty much close it out. Now it's a 3-on-2. Amaterasu doesn't check his back, and well, he gets backstabbed instantly. LFF in the front, but a quick trade. Wow, VLT, they're just not letting any nukes and crannies slip by. They're just not letting a single hole in the wall.
Feel like Velocity are, again, it really does feel about that setup spot, right? Maybe it's even the composition that's enabling them to do this, because with that Sky, the double duelers, they've got a lot more options. On the defense, they were able to rely on Deathmaker's Anchor to compensate for the lack of a Sentinel, and on attack, now with the double duelers, they're able to be so aggressive because Deathmaker and Vibor in that double duelers combo continuously have backup with each other. Vibor, I think that was not intended. They wanted only one player to be revealed, and so the push would come in. Maybe it was intended. I thought if the one player should be the Viper, but hey, it works out anyways, because in that 0 point with only one player revealed, Knight Rider starts getting aggressive. They catch him out, and again, VLT playing mind games around that KO. They know exactly how it works because they themselves are used to playing it.
And look at this, LFF now. VLT is just playing so disciplined, CA. It's insane. As I mentioned, they're not even letting a single flaw pass by. Scar God's posted up in all the way deep mid. If he does spot some players out. And that'll be really interesting. Look at this. 5 players right in the B main. This pop flash will give his position out as well. There we go. The guiding light pretty much giving info that there's no one really present in B main. And there we go. Double satchel boost on the site. But Logista's there to try and close things out. But that's not going to be the case. Instead, right to Ace as well. Somewhere on the other side finds one. And now it's all down to the Astro, which is Amber. And he's not going to be able to do anything.
It does feel like maybe that momentum factor is so important for God Particles is starting to run out because VLT are continuously one step ahead.
One enemy remaining.
With this round in the bag, it's match point for Velocity Gaming as they look to not just take a 2-0 lead, but take a 2-0 lead in such dominant fashion, Necro. 13-5 in the first map and a 12-4 right now. Even if God Particles win 1 or 2 rounds, it's gonna still be a 13-5, 13-6. So dominant map for Velocity now. They see that slow orb coming out. They know exactly where the Sage is, but Deathmaker getting distracted by the second slow orb. He gets caught out, and the wall comes up to deny entry. I'm not sure about this wall though. Like, it's quite easily satchelable over, but all of this was a distraction anyways, Necro, because look at where the spike actually is.
Oh. That double satchel not working out this time. War is just being cut off instantly. Ember's on fire. He's like, all right, you guys have abused me quite a lot on the site. This time, not anymore. I figured out how to shut you guys down in a 3K all by himself, single-handedly. Being the Doctor Strange and trying to stop the flood.
Okay. At this point, I think what's really important for God Particles is to find some semblance of peace in their comms. I think there's a lot of chaos going on, a lot of information trying to be relayed and just not happening. Even this round comes down to Ember finding some huge frags. Shuts down Vibor, shuts down Ace entering and shuts down Hellfire as well, the top fragger of Velocity Gaming. Without those frags, I feel like this round was gone and so was this map. They can't keep relying on Ember to pull off some naughty frags though. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
They need to be much more consistent. And on that note, I'm really confused about their defaults. They're playing the 1-3-1 setup. Ember's starting to get really aggressive. If he gets caught out, not only is their top fragger down, but the Astro on defense, that's not the agent you want to lose first.
This is where, I mean, we really do come down to, like, talking about why you should not really be happy on solo play wins. Pretty much like Valorant is a team game, and in a professional tournament, you need each and every single player of the team activated. Nice fragment. The war almost dodges and still wins that fight, even though he's on only 24 HP. Deathmaker shuts down Logista. The Vent's now pretty much isolated. Vibor follows it up, and now it's all down to the final man alive. Knight Rider, quick follow through, has the resurrection available, so this might just leave him in a 2-on-3. Goes for the res on the Viper. Deathmaker's available in the corner, peeks out. Nice headshot to cut his lifeline, and now it's all down to Logista. The final lifeline alive for God Particles. And if Logista gets taken out over here, and if he's not able to clutch, Global... Oh my god, Velocity will have 2 maps in their hands. That means they will only need 1 more map to pretty much seal the deal against God Particles. Oh no, 3 players in the front.
This Viper doesn't allow for much entry into sight.
Yep.
And just like that, 13-5 back-to-back. Velocity make this a 2-0, and it looks like at this point we might as well say I think it might just be a 3-0 because next map we go on to Haven, one of the strongest maps for Velocity Gaming. God Particles, the only thing I'm glad about right now for that team is that this is not the end even if they lose. Wildcard's still an opportunity for them to push back because this is not the God Particles we know that we saw against Global Esports today it just seems like either they're having an off day, or rather maybe Velocity is able to overwhelm them to such an extent that it automatically is becoming that off day. Either ways, it just doesn't work out. It's so much so that you can see that my attire has gone all topsy-turvy. I'm confused with what's going on as well, because this is not the God P we wanted to come out today, Necro. You especially, we were expecting that 5-map series, but I don't know anymore if we're going to get that.
I went with 3-2. I thought this is going to be really close because how we saw God Particles play against Global Esports, each and every single player was able to activate themselves. But over here, God Particles, they're heavily relying on some solo plays. And the star players, man, Knight Rider, Scar God, they're not able to pop off. I do understand they're trying their best, though. But again, it's like they're trying to go aggressive, but VLT's aggressive nature, that one-man Deathmaker pretty much holding those off angles in the aggressive side, that's what's really catching them off guard. Once they do start to get the grip on Deathmaker, I'm pretty sure that's when God Particles will pretty much start to dominate. But again, 2 maps back-to-back in the hands of VLT. Right now, the lifeline for God Particles looks really thin.
Yeah, it most certainly does. And you have to start wondering that for the side of God Particles, is this the end of the road in India Qualifier 2? Because with Velocity's dominant, it doesn't seem like map-based dominance, it's more around the mental aspect where Velocity is so comfortable playing that quick tempo game that we saw against True Rippers, that we're now seeing after Breeze in Split. They're sure to carry over this tempo game into the next map. God Particles themselves, they need to step it up. I still believe that this team, if they can find their groove, if they can shake off the nerves maybe that they might be feeling, should be able to at least take us to a 5-map series. But the way Velocity are dominating, it doesn't feel like it's the story even involves God Particles. Velocity making it clear that, hey, we are disappointed with how Qualifier 1 ended. We're going to make a statement with Qualifier 2. Sorry, God Particles, that you had to be in the way of that statement.
Oh man, they're just proving God Particles unparalleled up till now. Just clearly look at the MVP comparison as well. Like Hellfighter. Yeah, Hellfighter is just so consistent. Look at that. In the mid, you can clearly see from like 9th till 13th round, it was just completely Ember, not able to pop off. But then later on in the final couple of rounds, he started to pop off. And this is where HellFF just had a dominating lead over Ember. But moving on forward, yeah, VLT, they're just proving God Particles unparalleled. I do understand there might be nerves, but see, I mean, look, sometimes I do hate to be really critical on my opinions, and I'm really sorry if I am, but if these were just nerves, the scores would have been a little bit more closer. I honestly think so.
Yeah, 100%. I do agree on that note, and it does start feeling like it's not just nerves. It does feel like Velocity are just a step ahead in terms of that preparation. Where God Particles, yes, they're good at playing their own style, but against different styles, at least against Velocity style, or say the style that True Rippers play, they're not necessarily able to find the adaptation. But Velocity playing so quick, even you can see in that round demographic, right, where the rounds where every single time they attacked Hellfighter, he would pop off. And the reason for that pop off, you have to assume, is because he's not shut down. He gets to use all of his utility, and that's so weird when he's playing against the KO composition. We want to see that KO being utilized to shut down the Astra. They even did it in the one round, but we don't see it consistently. It's more glimpses of that synchronization with that KO.
It's like God Particles right now. They're just like scattered all over the place, and they need to start gathering themselves together, because this final map is going to be their final lifeline to book their slot in the grand final playoffs. If they're not able to do so, they're going to be shifted down to the wild card, where it's pretty much the underground fighting session. It's pretty much like the illegal fightings. This is where all the underdogs are there. This is where like everyone's trying to fight it out, duke it out against each other. Some of the best teams in all the regions will be shifted all the way down to wild card, which we're not really able to pop off in the grand final. So with that being said, after that second map, still the disappointment continues for God Particles, but hopefully in the third map they're able to bounce back. But again, to find that out, you guys will have to wait for a little, because we're going to throw to a short little break.
pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Brave is the army that bands against bands of dead presidents, determining life for mankind of cancerous. How we breathe vapors, green got us bleeding in streets for cheap paper. Assemble the masses, melt the plastic, compound, realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the systems are masked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. The line with the power with Charles Jurassic. Gnashing T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes, they back the atlas.
Bring the madness.
Bring the madness. There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. And cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all.
Bring this the army that bands against bands of dead presidents.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship with Gillette as a grooming partner. Now, first two maps out the gate, ladies and gentlemen, and it's just VLT domination all over the place. As I mentioned, God Particles, they're scattered all over the floor, and there needs to be someone who needs to start picking them together, man. They need to be put together over here, because this is the final game, the final lifeline for the future, pretty much, competition that's going to be happening. Because if God Particles are not able to bounce back here, that means they're going to move all the way down to wild card, and it's going to be really tough to bounce back from there as well.
Yeah, exactly. And for God Particles, this map is no longer about really, proving themselves or anything of that sort. They just need to take that pressure off and play the way they like, and do that in the sense that not just play slow, because if you do that, velocity is going to overwhelm you. I mean, more along the lines that this is a team that is very much capable of adapting to any style of play. They just need to get that back in their head. I feel like they're trying to play one particular style a little too much, not really giving respect to the fact that velocity are playing the high tempo, high octane play style, and rather try to work around that and shut them down, or maybe even find loopholes in that high tempo matchup. It's easier said than done, Necro, because when you go on to the map of Haven, I said this yesterday as well,
there's more
on KO.
And especially, we know Heaven is one of those maps that can give Deathmaker a little bit of more freedom to pretty much go for those aggressive peaks. So there's three sites. Where are you going to expect aggression from? From B? From Garage? From A short? From A long? From C long? What are you going to expect, man? There's just so many plays. There's so many sides on the defense where you can try and abuse, but same thing can go on the attacking side as well. There can be a man left on lurk, but again, as you mentioned, it does really come down to those read. If they're able to get a grip on how Deathmaker thinking over here, they are going to also get a grip on how to shut down VLT, and that's what exactly is the problem. Deathmaker always going aggressive with those operator, and he's able to find those picks and shut down the initial couple men in the start. That's where the problem relies, because imagine if your controller's taken down early in the game and you're the attacker. What are you supposed to do? There's no smokes. How are you going to execute a site?
Yeah, it does become quite difficult. So I will say the silver lining is the fact that now we get to see Knight Rider back on that jet. He can have a similar impact as to what you mentioned for Deathmaker with his own operator. He looked like a man on a mission on Breeze. He was so aggressive and was able to find the impact. But because of the fact that they were 8-4 down and they lost the pistol, it never felt like we saw the defensive operator from Knight Rider really coming online. Now going on to the map of Haven, I do wonder what the site selection is, because I don't necessarily remember the veto itself. And we're going to find out soon enough. Yes, God Particles starting on the defensive half, so maybe they can try and influence it that way, but oh no. If this breach gets locked in, it's just going to be, again, more of that high tempo, high octane gameplay, all about enabling Deathmaker.
Talking about enabling Deathmaker. That's what they're going for. Yeah, indeed. And, well, we saw the KO. Is it going to be pulled out? If he does go for the breach, that'll be really interesting. But again, HellFF as well is probably going to go for his normal stuff. Deathmaker pretty much going for with the Jet Vapor with the... Okay, so pretty much standard stuff seen from the side of God Particles. Nothing really curveballic happening over there. But on the side of VLT, yeah, pretty much a normal composition as well. Now, I do want to see if Amaterasu is actually going to go for...
I wonder if this breach is actually being set up to shut down Nitride as operator, right? Maybe Velocity acknowledging exactly what we talked about, that hey, these guys are playing on the defensive half in the start, but now personally, I prefer the KO on Amaterasu because he gets to be that individual duelist as well as supporting his team now and then. And I feel like that's the biggest difference between Amaterasu's KO and Shivi's KO, where he's not afraid of just taking up the role of that secondary duelist and supporting from time to time. Whereas Shivi's KO is fully dependent on that support utility aspect, especially on a map like Split where he's the sole initiator. On a map like Haven, where Sova is the main information gatherer you don't really have pressure on the KO to find perfect efficiency with his utility. Amaterasu can put his own spin to it and almost play it like a pseudo Phoenix, and damn, it feels strong when he does that.
Now again, as you mentioned, the entire strategy of VLT is trying to support Deathmaker over here to make some plays happen. Got Particles, pretty much standard composition, nothing really. They're trying to play a team game over here. And but again, this is what it really comes down to. As I mentioned, if the players are not being shut down early in the round, then maybe God Particles will have their fair share of chance to try and expose themselves to a lot of kills. But if they don't, if they're, getting caught off guard by Deathmaker's early peaks, then they just won't get a chance to activate themselves.
Yeah. We'll have to see if God Particles are truly able to activate themselves, because we're not expecting that tempo to slow down. Breach or no breach, VLT bound to be just as high tempo as they were in the first two maps. And now you can see that 0 point coming out. They suppress the Sky as well as the Astra. The Recon doesn't spot anyone just yet, but they don't care. They're trying to get the plant down. Logi actually managed to shut them down. Weird from VLT, they didn't actually try to take the full site, even though I think that Recon threw them off. It was slightly misplaced and it didn't give them information of backside.
Yeah, it's just a little blink of an eye. It's a complete bloodshed. And now right to it. It's not really finding the taps on the point, and those Logista with a nice 4K. Just VLT getting shut down single-handedly by the man Logista. Now still talk about this. They're able to get the pistol round on the board, and that's what exactly happened in the first map of Breeze as well. Are they going to be able to follow it up, though? They're going to be able to follow it up with another round where they're going to have a decent amount of money, but after that, in the rifle rounds, that's where they start crumbling down.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I'm a little confused about that Recon, because if you notice, it was behind Gong. So it's not going to give them information of players playing right on the back of Sai, as compared to normally we would see the Recon come on Gong. So they wouldn't have information of players playing in that B backside, B Gong area, but they would have information of the actual backside itself. So slight fluff there, maybe, from VLT. Allows God Particles to get some momentum, and now they're just gonna have to hold on to their momentum. Ooh, I like that buddy. There's a fish in a bag. Like, ooh, what is that?
Fish in a ball?
It's a bag. It's a plastic bag. See, it's tied up. A bowl can't be tied up.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, talking about tied up. Right now, Nitride, he's getting hella aggressive.
Oh my god, this is huge. He has a key positioning, and he can shut them all down. There you go, lines one up. 1, 2. Not able to get the third one though, but still a lot of damage. Little spam, please, and there you go. Yep, that's all I wanted. A little spam, he finds the kill. Of course, he packs huge damage with that Sheriff, and now the drone comes out from the Soa, which is Shivi. Hopefully he does not really get caught off guard by the man on the attacking side. Gets Shock Dart to try and stop the aggression. Ghost in the hand. Posted up quite close. Wabor expects him. Quick flick onto him to shut him down, and now Logista over here trying to be really proactive. But the problem is, VLT getting those Spectres in the hand, that's not really going to be helping him out quite a lot. And look at the Amaterasu all the way back in the defender spawn. Spike being planted as well.
Planted for that defender side's position of Amitarasu, so he could just back up into that same area, play around the Spectre. But now Amitarasu is gonna get caught off guard. Doesn't actually end up going down though, and this is huge. But they can now play for time.
Oh, there we go.
Before getting shut down, takes the Spectre off the table. And yeah, I do wonder if you could have done a defender side spawn plant and played with Amitarasu. So that way, if they could isolate one person, suddenly they'd have 2 Spectres instead of 1.
Man, that's actually really unfortunate. But this over here, right here, he missed a couple of initial bullets. Was able to follow it up with second one, though, so that's quite huge. And yeah, 2 rounds on the board, and now this is where I'm going to question God Particles. Are you going to get another win on the board? You guys do have the bonus active, but are you going to be able to convert that bonus into a win?
Yeah, that's the biggest question. And not necessarily a bonus, Necro, I'd say, because a few of them investing into those full buys. So not opting to play on that bonus round. I understand that they want to get the win streak going. They want that momentum. But look at that Maker. He's starting to push into a long edge. Nightcrawler himself getting very aggressive.
God, no.
What? Just a pure read from Amitarasu. He's just like, I know you're going to be there. That smoke doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah, really, just the IGL brain coming out, some smart plays, and the man also gets tagged. Chivy, this is going to be huge, this competition right here. Yep, there we go, he's dead. There's no way out, he's stuck. But there you go, Deathmaker is able to follow it up. A quick dash on the site, doesn't really have the cloud burst to back him up. And now it's a 2-on-3 situation. VLT having a man advantage. The board gets spotted, but it doesn't matter. He's able to get the frag, and now here comes the retreat back in. Velocity, they want to hit the A side back, but Ember's able to follow it up, and now he's pretty much on a march. And his march gets pretty much spotted by VLT. They hear him marching, and they shut him down.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ember there. I think he assumed that since the board came hard running down, probably he was just faking while the rest of them rotated. And he's like, okay, I can start to go quickly on the rotate, try to cast them off. But VLT was just waiting in a lobby. And in that lobby, they able to pick up the first buy round win. Now, because God Particles didn't play on the bonus, VLT, despite all of the damage done to them in their buy round, they get off of it scot-free. They get to play with the Spectres and Bulldogs now against an eco from the side of God Particles. And this is why I wonder if they could have gone for the bonus. They only lost a couple of weapons in that last round, but instead opted for that momentum factor, and now they're paying the price. Ember getting caught out. You talked about this in our pre-match lobby, Necro. The Astra cannot be the one going that forward.
Yeah, nah. Ember being caught out. Now the controller's not there anymore, but a nice shot. Talk about controllers trade. Well, that's a fair trade right there. Right to is taken down quite low. Scargod's on the aggressive page. The alarm bot will distract him, and Amaterasu to follow it up. Knight Rider as well takes down their duelist. That's a big man. Right click can definitely not be really reliable in these situations for sure, because he missed out on 3 right clicks right there. Was able to take him down to 24 HP. But still, the consistency factor, not able to follow it up. And this is exactly what I said, ladies and gentlemen. They do get the first 2 rounds on the board, but then later on, the follow-up is just not there.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like the adaptation that we're seeing from the side of VLT is the same for the side of God Particles, because it doesn't seem like they're on the right note in most of these rounds to try and push through for the win in that regard, right? Like, again, if you think about those last 2 rounds, it was solely based off of that bonus buy, so maybe they lose the bonus if they go for it, but right after they get to contend with the full buy, as compared to then trying to contest them on a full buy and going for the win. But hey, it's a big maybe, because at the same time, if they had won the bonus, we'd be saying the exact opposite, and they'd be on a 4-0 win streak. So they took a gamble, which I can appreciate. I can understand the fact that they took a decision and went for it, and I don't think there is any right decision in that regard. Simply a decision about how you do want to end up playing. But now, having said all of that, a bit of a technical break, I think it should get resolved real quick, because I do see most of the players moving around. But what's important to talk about is the operator coming out for Knight Rider. You can see he's playing that C anchor setup on his lonesome, allows for a double stack towards that mid-garage area with the camera being placed. Should mean Logi should just back right up. What I'm worried about is this Sova playing alone. Ember getting caught by a what? What just happened?
Caught by a what?
No, he got caught by a nano swarm grenade, and I'm just like, how did he what? I assume it was a lot of spam, like damage done by bullets and the nanostorm finished it off, but why is Ember again pushing so aggressively through garage? That's the question.
Because he just wants to, man. He's me. Currently, he has me mentality. The Necro mentality.
Astra, though.
I do understand. It's the same with me. I do the same with Viper. When I'm playing Viper and if I get challenged by someone else, I want to peek the same angle over and over again until I don't actually take them down. So, I understand. The battle of egos, man. But jokes aside, I'm pretty sure it's not the same case for these teams. Shivy's able to find right to ace, and that's a huge find as well, playing off of the tripwire perfectly. He does have the recon available to CS, so that can collect a lot of info. But I don't know, they cannot give frags away like this. LFF's quite close, and Knight Rider able to cut down the lifeline on Amaterasu all the way to the back. LFF's close as well, the operator's inbound, but the quick fire is able to shut down Knight Rider. The head being cut off, and now the brains being splattered all over the floor. Deathmaker will shut down the final man as well.
And again, very similar to what happened on Breeze, what happened on Split. The first few rounds look close. You split, you remember it went like 3-3, 4-4 even, I believe, before Velocity just ran away with the entire map.
One enemy remaining.
It does feel like this is starting to happen here. This was the buy round for God Particles, but it all falls into pieces. Once again, they're going to be forced onto an eco, and this is quite disheartening, Necro, considering that the defensive half is where we're expecting them to be stronger, where we expect Knight Rider's operator to yield value, but Velocity just not giving them a moment to try and find that value. Even if they do, it just feels like they get shut down again and again. Now, this time, they are able to avoid the 0 point. I don't think Velocity got any information off of it, so they might not expect this 3 stack, which is good for God Particles.
Oh, this fragment's huge. Shivy will have to try and shift away. It's taking a lot of damage. Yep, no commands out as well, and they're screwed now. God Particles, nothing much can be done. They don't even have the utilities to try and work off of it, but it's fine. They've got the aim. On the other hand, it's Knight Rider trying to slice him off, and on the site, it's the Sheriff trying to pop him off. There we go. Finally, he's going to be able to pull out the knives again. But again, on the site, he'll need to try and shut him down. And wow, what is going on? He's just not able to do anything. He needs to wait for a couple of seconds. And now he'll get the knives back in his hands. The aggressive pace needs to be done, and that's what exactly he goes for. Finds one. 8 HP in the hand, doesn't really have a lot of HP. One bullet on the Knight Rider will seal the deal. Materasu on the long side, misses a lot of shots and is not able to find any connections. But it's fine. Finally, some Materasu does realize there's a little whiff. It's not really as clean as it gets, but still. Is Deathmaker right to us having a little fight?
I think they're probably just discussing certain aspects of that push, maybe. Can get quite animated in those discussions, but right now what's important from Velocity Gaming is to try and make sure that they maintain this momentum, because you can see Knight Rider, he got extremely close to pulling this round off. He is definitely feeling himself. God Particles might not be as together as a team on the right note. They might be having an off day, and the same cannot be said for Knight Rider. Again, a very similar 0 point, but this time you can see that their intentions are completely different. They get that Maker into an advanced position. He's even invested his tailwind, but the rest of them, they're trying to take mid control and rely on that Maker's first peak to decide where they go. If they get free entrance into this B site with the help of the drone, they might just go there. But if that Maker is able to get a free frag here, then suddenly the matters change and they would rotate towards the A side.
2-4 is the score line, and VLT pretty much having the advantage again. Look at the custom crosser on the scope. Love it. Looks kind of sick. But yeah, now in the mid as well. The mid presence is huge from the side of VLT, but again, talk about the Cosmic Divide. It's pretty much played to perfection. But they still don't exactly know if they're going to be actually trying to execute the side or not. ScarGod finds a quick, but still the flash is there, but the flash runs out of time and does not really peek out in the right time. He was able to find one, but the follow-up wasn't really there. VLT, it's a 2-on-3 situation. God Particles have a little man advantage. Oh no, hands a little busy there. Ace, and gets caught with busy hands. 89 HP and 27 armor in the hands of LFF. Final man alive to keep the dreams alive in this round.
Hellfighter has 3 stars. He needs one of them to use as a gravity well on the post plan, but I don't think he knows that Logi is coming through on the C-long move. He's trying to set up the garage, and CT smoke. He does exactly that. He's able to sneak in. Here's the cloudburst as well. So now he knows that Knight Rider is coming from defender side spawn. You can see 1-star plays for the gravity well to deny the plant. Hellfighter trying to play on time as much as possible. Expecting Knight Rider to come through from garage. That's not going to happen. Instead, both of these players now have been retaken side. They have to be kind of confused to where Hellfighter is. Not popping the star just yet. Will mean that this star gets used for the fake. Loki doesn't spot him again. It's all about that timing. He shuts one down and he will easily find the second. Hellfighter with the clutch, and what beautiful play in terms of those mind games, man. The cloudburst audio cue especially was key. I think if that cloudburst hadn't come through, he might have got confused and tried to push into defender side spawn. But as soon as he hears that cloudburst, he's like, okay, at least one defender side spawn. I just need to hold the garage angle and I'm Gucci.
Nah, his aim is just too clean. I don't know what to say at this point. His aim is too clean, CA. Even if he does miss the first initial burst, I love how he goes for a burst to confirm, okay, my bullets are actually going to land on the man, and then maybe he tries to go for the second burst. I've never seen HellFF just straight up going for a spray.
Oh, yeah.
In this best of 3 series, and this is where, again, it does really come down to like how good you're able to control the nerves with the gun. VLT, again, a huge flow on the side of C. There's no way they're going to be able to stop it through. HellFF finds the rotation. And the Dagger Girls goes bye-bye. Another one to follow it up, and right to Ace is just going to start to line them up. There you go. They're on fire, on a rampage, and they're on a tear. They're ripping God Particles apart.
You got to say it with sass, Necro. You got to add the sass when you're saying the Astra voice line.
Dagger Girls goes bye-bye.
Nah, you're too much of a Jet player, I think. You're too confident. You gotta be cheeky, and I mean, I'll say it, kind of toxic the way you view Astra. But hey, I like the fact that you used it. I seem to be rubbing off on you. The Astra voice lines most definitely spicy. But talking about spicy, a 5-2 lead right now for 6-2 lead right now for Velocity Gaming. And this buy is so crucial, Necro, for God Particles. They got the operator back, but Knight Rider getting spotted out. Still managed to shut down before. They're just gonna try to rush him down, though. Knight Rider does not miss.
Oh, he does not indeed. But there you go. The shock dart as well will not miss. Pretty much just like he just walks into the shock dart. He's like, all right, I know I'm gonna die, so I'll rather just hug my own death. Hunter's Fury out. Oh, trying to find some connections. Right to Ace is easily able to dodge that. And Velocity now seems like they've got good grip over God Particles. They know how they're thinking, and there you go. Another one to follow it through. Right to Ace is not going to miss the mark. Shivy, the final man alive in the final hopes and dreams. 6th round on the board, and after this win, it'll be 7 quick mats.
Spike planted.
Basic idea, right, from Velocity. Even though 2 players get shut down by the operator, they're like, we don't care. We decided to go for that C-side push. We committed to that C-side push. Just trade as much as you can and push. They don't hesitate. They don't think about it for a second. That's the high tempo I'm talking about. They're so synchronized with what they seem to want to do. And I feel like it's really catching GodP off guard, who are used to taking a second between such calls to push through, because we rarely ever see Deathmaker being punished like this. If he finds the first peak, they just leave him be. They don't try to rush him down and take him out. No. Instead, he gets to find that first pick, go for another. Even if they win the aim battle, that's the reason they take him out, not because they forced him out. And that's the basic difference between Velocity's high octane style and GodP's slower style. And right now, there's a high octane that's winning it all. But hold on. Oh, again, the round starts off looking decent for GodP, but that's all there is. Not so great. They can't even recover the weapons. And now, amongst all of that chaos, Hellfighter has a huge lurk.
Talk about lurk, Knight Rider over here. A little glimpse being spotted. The man in the mid as well gets spotted. Now it's a 3-on-3 situation.
Blocking sight.
And VLT, they're just trying to cross over. 2 rounds on the board for God Particles, and VLT having a huge round advantage.
Hellfighter didn't spot Knight right here.
Did he though? What's going on? Vabor, now there you go, he spots him out. Totally 3 HP. Vabor did not go for a full commit. And Knight was like, okay, I just heard a couple of footsteps. I don't exactly know what's going on. Why am I not seeing anyone flow through? And he tries to peek out, and, well, he just gives his position away.
I think even though Hellfighter didn't spot Knight Rider, I feel like he gave the call that, hey, the Jet was defender side spawn when I entered the lurk. She knows I'm here. She's not managed to sneak through the defender side spawn smoke, so she might have sneaked through the garage smoke. That little bit of information ensures that Vibor is a little scared and he checks his angles. You know, I feel like if that comm isn't done and Hellfire is just like, yo, C-side is clear, come, Vibor just presses W and dies right there. So Fear can go a long way if used appropriately. We're talking about Fear, all 5 ultimates available for Velocity Gaming, and the only thing I'm fearing is the situation that God Particles is in.
Blocking sight.
And look at Deathmaker, man. Just a quick flood on the site, nothing much can be done. LFF is trapped in this situation, but he still is able to isolate the duel. That's all they need. I got no clue, man. He's going to be able to find the second one as well. No, scratch that. Yeah, he was the one who got trapped.
Get out of my way.
So at least their trade's there on the mark. 8 rounds on the board in VLT. They're on a killing spree, and it doesn't look like it's going to be stopped anytime soon. Right to Ace is left over here all by himself. Is he looking to light it up? No. He gets shut down. Blaze Storm available for Deathmaker, but the problem is the HP is a factor. It's not really favoring him that well. Another updraft is available. I'm pretty sure he's going to utilize that now.
Look at this.
Spots out the push. Yeah, but I like this off angle from Alatarasu. He's getting spotted out by the recon dart. Another round on the board for VLT, ladies and gentlemen. And they're just looking really strong and unstoppable.
Yeah, just in case those fights did not work out, VLT even had a backup plan in the board who could play on the long post plan, make sure they couldn't defuse. So again, small mistakes. The drone spots out right to Ace. They know that they need to check all their angles, but Knight Rider pushes in a second too early. Just not even a second. Like, if he waits for 30 milliseconds, gets the information, oh wait, drone spotted this guy, he immediately just pre-fires to the left and takes down right to Ace. But getting a little too ahead of themselves shows that God Particles are not accustomed to playing that fast, quick playstyle that VLT are doing right now. Because look, once again, they're going to go for the A rush, this time with the help of the Killjoy lockdown most likely.
Oh, that's a nice spot. And now the aggression pretty much being stopped of Deathmaker. I do understand he's not really able to get that much impact on the board, but ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that he's creating a lot of space on the site, and that's all you need to do as a duelist. And there you go. The operator shut down Knight Rider. I don't know. It seems like he's just roaming around in the garden with a magnifying glass in the hand. And LFF. Oh, look at the gravity wall. All of those just being stopped right there. And stacked up. 11 HP in the board of LFF. And I'm pretty sure right to Ace is just going to try to funnel him in. And there we go. Emperor. Quick frags in. Well, you cannot really hand over kills like that to Vibor. He stacks him up on the short. And now the short pretty much looks like a graveyard. Ember, the only man left alive, and he's trying his best to make the solo plays happen inside this game as well. Ember is really the instrumental key for God Particles, who's trying his best to step himself up. But in this round, he will fall apart too. And now another round of the board, and this is the first half where pretty much Velocity, the vision is really clear for them.
And I really need to take some liberty because I really want to know what Hellfighter was saying there about talking about what I want to know. Why is Knight Rider pushing in so aggressively? He knows that there's players in a short, like at least if he's gonna push in that aggressively, maybe he can ask his team to cover his A short while he does that. The comms for God Particles seem to be crumbling, Necro. It doesn't seem like they have a response to Velocity Gaming's insanely quick playstyle. 10-2 on the board from 2-2, and it all comes down to that bonus. Because momentum is so important. I really wonder if they, instead of playing that full buy, if they played the bonus, could it have gone differently? I'm not sure, but it's a question that we'll never get the answer to, because once you give Velocity a taste of victory, once you give them a taste of momentum, they're like sharks attracted to blood. They just press the W key, pedal to the metal. I'm not even talking about the W key in game. It's just like, in terms of the rounds, they're just so damn fast. They know when to push, they know when to play slow, and they're just able to find the win every single time.
This pistol round is going to mean quite a lot. If they lose this pistol round, so yeah, that's going to be it. We pretty much should just call it. It's pretty sure, man. This pistol round is where the lifeline heavily relies on. And God Particles have been looking pretty dominant on the pistol round, so I'm expecting them to do at least good. And there you go. Ember, again, he's just a man stepping up from the side of God Particles, and he's looking really unstoppable. 3 frags on the board, back-to-back, and well, now Velocity will start to sweat a little bit in this round. But again, as I said, in this round particularly, one recon's available.
I know Astra can be used as a controller. I mean, she is a controller. She can be used as a sentinel or an initiator. This is new for me, though. Entry fragger duelist Astra? Okay.
I mean, he is using the controller as a controller. He's making the entry to get the control. Ooh.
Oh, come on. No.
Technically, he's making her live up to her name. So yeah, there you go, right to his. Oh no, they cannot go for some solo battles like that. They need to start double peeking. And this is where God Particles. The pressure's clearly being seen. The duels are being isolated. Deathmaker's the man who cannot be challenged solo as well, so you need to try and isolate this man as well.
Okay, Ember.
And a perfect battle. Ember on a 4K. He's on a tear.
Yeah, Ember is really feeling himself. Ever since that map was split, he's been popping off left, right, and center. And I think at this point, yes, the pistol does give them a lifeline of hope. They get to play on this anti-eco. You can see Velocity going for the full eco. Not a single piece of utility bought. Not a single piece of weaponry invested. Actually, scratch that. Deathmaker just bought a sheriff, so he always does that. So whatever. Besides Deathmaker, nobody going for the buys. They want the full buy round to play off of. So now, God Particles, they gotta play it safe. They gotta play it slow. They gotta make sure they don't give away damage to VLT. And already, Night Rider off to a strong start. But there's a crossfire here.
It's just yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was that sound, so do not ask me.
Oh my god, running gun.
But yeah, they're oh my god, running gun. What was that reaction? CA? Have you never seen a running gun in Valorant? I mean, come on. This game is more run and gun.
Memories.
Oh my god. Precise gunplay.
Precisely.
There we go. Got him light out.
That's precise gunplay.
Yeah, that's pretty precise, and that's what I like to see. But again, sometimes the RNG factor of the classic is really something that can hit you.
Grounded.
It was the anti-eco for God Particles to win expected, and they make sure that they don't lose too much in terms of weaponry in this round. 2 players dropped, but still only 1 weapon drop, because you can see Shivy went for the save, but they're not going for the bonus yet. I feel like if it was 11-1 or something like that, I could imagine them not going for the bonus, but at 10-4, that bonus can be so useful. But instead, they're upgrading their weapons already. 3 Spectres and 2 Phantoms. And it will mean that if they don't win this round, they don't get a free buy in the next. Even if they get a buy, they'll have to go with light shields.
Just say it's GG. Utility. Just say it's GG. If they don't win this round, it's GG.
I believe.
There we go. Little glimpses of champions over there. Knight Rider opening things on Deathmaker. Finally seems like they're able to get the grip on how aggressive or where is Deathmaker trying to be aggressive from, so that's a good thing. VLT now just moving around, and I honestly feel like in this matchup, God Particles just didn't come up with a lot of preparation, and that's why they're not able to get the reads perfectly. But talk about the reads now, this time on Haven. It seems like they're making it look like hell. They're able to rain down bodies, right to waste, tried his best to follow it up, and now the trades are back and forth. It's 2-on-1 situation. LFF again left in the clutch situation. Finds first man, and he's not even tacked up a little bit, so this is huge. Has the smoke in hand. Is he going to stick in it and know it's going to be the answer? The second man peeks out, but it's Ember. And Ember has been on a tear today, so I'm expecting him to pretty much close it out.
I thought Hellfighter did not know that Ember was coming in from Garage, but you could see that he clearly had an idea.
Yeah, I don't know. He just has a sixth sense today, man. Ember and Hellfighter, these 2 players are popping off.
Yeah, I think it's more along the lines that that's fully what he's expecting that he would do. Since that Killjoy turret is down, they don't have Garage presence. Rather than just go for a wide open peek, the sneaky play usually helps out a lot more, but Ember, as you said, has been on an absolute tear. Clutches out the buy round, now forcing VLT onto an eco. This is exactly what they needed. Raw Particles starting to come back, Necro, and this is why I said I believe this team is capable. They've just not been able to find their groove. But if they win this map, after being 10-2 down, I think that's the groove they've been looking for.
Oh, if they win this map after being 10-2 down, VLT's mental will be breaking. I mean, broken.
They'll be like 9-3, no, 10-2, no, why these score lines do us like this?
Yeah, and they're like, come on, man, just wrap it up. I just want to have my dinner already.
Chris hungry?
That was not me saying, that was Velocity saying.
No, I know, I know. But is that time?
I mean, I want to have it too, sure. I want to have it too, sure.
Exactly.
I want to know what's on the menu today, but that's a whole nother rodeo. But over here again, Knight Rider pretty much doing Deathmaker things this time, just trying to flood inside the site. The back man's pretty much blinded to his death. He doesn't even see. The only thing he sees is the light in the front of him, and that's the death flashing in front of him. 5 rounds on the board, and now it seems like God Particle's momentum is looking unstoppable on the attacking side. I wanted to say that, I wanted to throw a little bit of copium saying that, okay, maybe Haven's just the attacking side of the map. Maybe God Particles will start to dominate, but it seems like the copium's coming through, and that's a nice shot. Deathmaker, how is your crosshair placement so good? Another flash. That flash is literally that death flashing in front of his eyes. Deathmaker's gonna die here, look.
I mean, no duh.
Look, he's gonna die. Look. 3, 2, 1. Oh no. Almost dead. He pretty much cheated his own death.
Well, yeah, that's why the tailwind is for Necro. But the spike's
there
sure to finish him off. The time he's bought though might just make sure the Ember doesn't get to save the Eagle. Oh, barely! Barely missing out. So, hey, technically he did take out another weapon before he died, but it won't matter. Because now, God Particles on a 4-round win streak, they built up the economic cushion. They've saved up enough money to be on continuous buys despite losing, even if they lose 1 or 2 rounds. So all the pressure back on Velocity Gaming, and I think it's high time we started seeing some aggression, because every single time they go for the A lobby 0 point, that 0 point has started to be avoided by God Particles or played around. So now maybe either aggress or wait for mid-round to try and get some information. Instead, he changes the location going towards mid-garden, gets nothing out of it, and with Knight Rider being so aggressive on the A-long control, I think what they should be expecting is a late rotate towards that C side, but that Maker shut down Scar God, so that option not so easy anymore.
Man, I just love coffee.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Moving on forward.
That's random.
Yeah, pretty random. Yeah, I was just taking a sip of coffee to get my throat wet, but yeah, pretty much 2 players stacking right outside B, and you can also do see the spike present over there on the Astra. He as well as present, but still, this is huge suppression coming through. This is going to delay them so much, because now they were trying to, they were just trying to rely off of that Cosmic Divide. Because of that suppression, the Cosmic Divide will not come true.
Also reveals everyone except Knight Rider, who they knew was in that A-long position. Amitarasu able to hold on for dear life. They dropped the spike, and even though Logi got the kill to start it off in that 4v4 position, he's going to be the last man standing who ends it off. And it's not over just yet. It's not over just yet, Necro, because like I was saying, God Particles have built up the economy. They still have a buy, but it's getting too close for comfort. God Particles, you got to stop pushing back harder.
I don't think so. This is even close yet. I mean, only 6 rounds, so yeah, this is not close. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, you said something wrong right there. He didn't just drop the spike. He dropped their dreams.
That's not wrong, though. He did drop the spike. What do you mean?
He did drop the spike, but the spike was their dreams, man. Look, 11 rounds now. Another round and then it's match point. And VLT after that win, they're not. As you mentioned, there's just like, what do you say? Sharks who smell the blood and now they just want to taste it.
I've got your trail.
Pushing in aggressively this time. They got the Killjoy Sova double anchor setup, and even though the Seekers give them so much information, it's gonna slow them down. But before, that's an unnecessary peak. The gravity, the Cosmic Divide was slowing them down enough, but giving that kill over, it does make sure that now the site granted for the side of God Particles now. They're gonna finish off Amitarasu. Try to elite, but that Maker comes forward to save his IGL's life, but not for long. A 1-for-1 trade, and he will go down.
Enemy remaining.
Are you sure? He's trying to save his IGL's life, and now it's a 2 on Neural Theft out too. They're letting him isolate the duels, but no, finally HellFF shut down. A little gap in trying to flick all the way back. And another round on the board for God Particles, pretty much saving the day, and they're still hanging on the ledge.
I really don't think the board should be peeking there, especially with that Cosmic Divide coming down. I think I understand his point of view where he's like, okay, I'm going to surprise them. They're not going to expect me to peek out of this, and also maybe dodge the flash that he expects to come out of that Cosmic Divide while he peeks. But because he's playing that Killjoy, he can afford to just step back, leave the site even, you know, because they've done the damage. They were able to shut down one player. They could have gone for the retake, but once again, giving God Particles a sign of hope. That Maker gets shut down. The guiding light on point, and all the flashes in the world are not going to save Amitarasu. Maybe the passive.
The classic wall. Scans coming through. Knight Rider 2 frags. Actually, he's able to get a 3K. That dashes. His teammate blocks his own dash. No! If I am Knight Rider right there, I'm kicking him out the team right now. I'm joking.
No, yeah, he's definitely going to be upset about that though, but it won't matter as long as they're able to spot out the round. Now, Drone does spot out both of the players, but all Ace has is a Sheriff to himself. He needs to try and somehow isolate the Zeus, but they're not giving an opportunity. You could see, you could see the calls in the action. Like Logi started to go towards Long. Should we be like, no, come here. 3, 2, 1, peek, and they both peek together, instantly coming out. They shut them down. And 11-8 on the board for God Particles. Now 6 wasn't enough for you. This certainly seems to be Necro.
That block.
That block. Feels bad, man. You get so angry too in solo.
Dude, I get really angry.
You, like,
oh my god.
Bro, come on.
It's like the funny part is that if you're a insta-locker Jet, and if you're not really going for the side execute, your team is like, hey man, just dash in the site. What are you doing? You know, you being a Jet, you're not really doing your job because you're not trying to go or make space in the site is because you don't really trust your teammates. Okay, you asked me to make a space in the site, I'll do that. I dash in the site, but the problem is my teammates blocking my dash. How am I supposed to dash in?
Necro clearly reliving some traumatic memories here, chat. But talking about traumatic memories, maybe that 9-3 loss flashing in the minds of VLT from VCC1, because from 10-2 up, on the attacking side, no less, where we expect VLT to be ridiculously strong, they're fumbling and they're stumbling. 11-8 is the scoreline now. I do believe VLT, they're going to be forced onto an economy. So you can see Amit Rasood detailing instructions, right to Ace adding his own thoughts with some extra bit of motivation. And we'll see how far this goes because VLT right now, they're trying to close off this map. They still have a significant lead to try and do exactly that. But Hellfighter will be like, bro, I miss my Cypher days. Let me just take a selfie real quick.
You sure that was even a selfie? He's just like...
Yeah, he's cleaning the camera, I know.
Yeah, look at him. Hellfighter's now in a deep thinking mode. I want to know what kind of mousepad he's got. What is that mousepad, Hellfighter? Please DM me on my disc.
I know what Vibor has. I know what Ace has.
Okay, what does Vibor have?
I think he has one of those Fnatic large mousepads.
Oh, the one I have?
No,
Focus 2?
The upgraded one over there, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know the brand, but I know it's
Oh, no, these people are pretty rich, so can't try to like...
I know which one Ace has. I believe that's one of the most expensive mousepads.
Which one does he have?
Artisan. He got it specially delivered from Japan or something, I think.
No. Oh, no. Not the Artisan. That's my dream right there. And, yeah, whenever I see that mousepad, I hear, like, so many things, right? I go to the Artisan mousepad. I just check the description.
Fruity. I want Fruity. I like that maker even more now. He drinks Fruity.
See at this...
Hey, it's a good juice, you know?
Yeah, I love it, man. Back in the day, you know, I used to travel in the buses, and then I used to go to, like, a normal shop outside before, you know, starting my journey. I used to grab a little Fruity. It used to, like, cost, like, 5 rupees back in the day, you know?
Yeah, they've doubled the price now.
Yeah, now it's like... Yeah, now it's like 10. Yeah, you're not wrong. Now it's like 10 rupees. And you also get a little straw with that. And when it was my first time ever drinking a Fruity, I didn't know that you're supposed to like put the straw in, you know?
What? What?
I literally tore the Fruity and I put the straw. Oh my god. And then my mom was like, "What are you doing? Are you dumb?" I was like, "What? You're not supposed to drink it like that." Like,
what's going on though, Necro? Again, I'm not sure why Vibor is being so aggressive. Gets caught off guard. I think he's trying to get into that Seeker B position, but it's not necessary. Now look, without that Killjoy, they have to cover B, they have to cover C by themselves, but they are being helped a little bit by Deathmaker's push. Hellfighter, he's gonna have to adopt his best anchor impression because he's super low. He's in super pressure. Hey, right to his
And well, there you go. Talk about release, right to his pretty much releasing him off the Haven map. Still 11 rounds on the board, and now this is getting really close for comfort for VLT, so they're going to start to panic.
Necro. That 0.2 is mid garden shows that there's no one there. Now they're still expecting a C push. I think the read from no one being there in that 0 point is that they're still going to come for that C side. They're just going to come late, so hold on for dear
Oh my
life.
God.
They're trying to do that, but Hellfighter, he's so
no.
low. One tag will kill him.
He's just trying to dodge it. He's just trying to bop and weave, but still the scan came through from the recon. So God Particles now looking really good, and now he's also going to get caught by the trail. Oh my God, there's just so many things at the same time to deal with. The Seekers as well, catching him. And now Deathmaker, the only man left alive. It's the Seeker always getting him. I don't know what exactly is going on, man. Ember's over here as well, just run and gun coming through from his side. It's the classic Phantom moment, and Valorant just hitting him with the Valorant moment.
I think saying all of that though, I think it's a bit of a win-win for both teams in that regard. Because
Yeah.
given the way the war ended up dying, of course that's not the win. The fact is that God Particles had to commit 3 key ultimates. Their 3 most strongest ultimates in the Cosmic Divide, the Hunters, Fury, and the Seekers, just to get onto site. And while they'll be happy that they're at least able to secure the round, now for VLT it becomes a matter of just playing around those ultimates. They have that Killjoy locked down to play retake. You can see the setup playing for the same. Now an aggressive push in their ego, trying to find some trades, but God Particles will give them no dice. Instead, they're pushing onto this A site, and Logi just marking the lurk. I'm sure he's going to be able to shut them down.
There we go. There's the flood.
Oh, that's
And Logista still able to find one. That's still huge. There's the equal trade. 4 players alive on both sides, and Scargots take a lot of damage from that shock dart. Trailblazer's down. He's going to be catching one. Right to Ace on the side, single-handedly trying to shut him out. And what's going on? A huge 3K from Right to Ace. He pops out and pretty much lives up to his name. Right to clutch indeed. A huge tag coming through, and now Knight Rider. All eyes trained on this man. Another tag coming through. Knight Rider gets spot out. There's no way he's able to get away.
Oh my God.
Oh, how is he able to just live from that? That's a huge trauma right there. Utilities after utilities just hitting him back to back. It's the stuns, it's the shock dart, it's the blind. What are you supposed to dodge? And Right to Ace right here just going huge, single-handedly stopping the flood.
Logi should not be taking that fight right there, man. His job is not to trade 1 for 1. His job is to delay them as long as possible. Even if he doesn't manage to kill anyone, it doesn't matter. What he needs to do is stay alive so they can't take his Phantom. He gives over a Phantom. Because of that, the fear is there in the 4 people pushing onto side that might be coming in the back. They try to rush it a second too early. They all get caught in a perfectly timed, like chef's kiss, gravity well from their side of Hellfire.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Talking about perfectly timed. Knight Rider able to retrieve his own operator. Gonna get on out of there, but still it's a 4v4 with Hellfighter shutting down Logi once again, and the advantage is in VLT in terms of weapons, especially with Knight shut down.
And this is what God Particles are finally realizing. Deathmaker's huge strength for VLT's win right there. If they're able to shut down Deathmaker, the win will follow it through as well. And now pretty much a silent moment.
Oh, look at these
Feel the
Astros.
silence, ladies and gentlemen, because soon it's going to be a chaotic brawl between these 2 teams.
These
2 players
Astros are
alive, and it's a
playing
2-on-3.
Ringa Rose's Necro. Ember check defender side spawn when Hellfighter check garage, and then vice versa. Hellfighter now opting to just step back and wait for his team to follow through, as Ember knows he needs to find some sort of value to his lurk. So he's pushing and persevering as much as possible, but the gravity well denies the plan. And now with the players coming in to see long, it's all but over. Ember is gonna have to go on another level to pull this round off.
Yeah, it pretty much has to go Super Saiyan right here. But the man in the black Hellf. There we go. Hellf pretty much shuts him down. The back man does not really expect it. And VLT, pretty much a flawless win in the Grand Finals as well, and that's going to help him secure a spot in the VCC Grand Final playoffs. And there you go, the celebration pretty much deserved, taking down a huge team like God Particles and just proving them unparalleled in the best of 5 series, and pretty much not even letting a map through. Velocity just showing that they're currently the best team in India, and they've got a lot to deliver on the Grand Final playoffs.
Yeah, and you can see how much it means to them for that win itself. Now with the manager and the 6th man Marzo joining, they're gonna have one more jump around. It's so wholesome to witness, honestly. Thank you, production.
The dog as well. The dog as well.
The dog's
Oh, his name is
Jod.
Jod? Oh.
I think so. I'm
He's
not
the key to their
100%.
success.
Yeah.
He's the key to their success, not gonna lie.
He's the
Jod right
Jod.
there is key to their... Yeah, he's the Jod. But yeah, moving on forward, man. A flawless win pretty much. A 3-0 and it was supposed to be a best-of-5 series. I personally went with 3-2 because I had a lot of faith in God Particles, but pretty much letting me down today, but it's fine. They have another chance to bounce back. If they just had bad days over here, it's fine. Wildcard is there for you to try and prove yourself. This is pretty much, as I mentioned, the underground battles happen. That's where everything, there's no rules because you got to throw as many punches as possible to get your slot in the grand finals playoffs, because that's how you're going to make a mark in the best of the best teams out there. But again, I do want to say, man, VLT, they clearly are proving that they are one of the best teams out there, pretty much next to Enigma.
Oh yeah, and at this point, what VLT have done in this qualifier, it sets a statement. Yo, we might have fumbled, we might have had some issues in qualifier 1, but they managed to fix it within the span of a week, and the changes in the compositions is what I love to witness. Amit Rasool taking much more of an active role across multiple maps, with the Reyna on Icebox, with the KO on Haven. It feels like the team is back to the good old days, where Amit Rasool leads from the front, right to ace himself, being the MVP in this match. But with that, it's 3-0, and that's all she wrote for God Particles and the Dreams of cementing their spot in the grand final playoffs from qualifier 2. That being the really important part, because wildcard, it's not just that they have a chance in wildcard, it's even a bigger chance than last time, because there's 2 slots up for grabs into the grand final playoffs from wildcard. So a huge chance for God Particles, and they get to meet one of their old foes, G themselves, in that wildcard, trying to get one of those spots.
This reminds me of the old EXO and Enigma moments here, where, you know, EXO and Enigma moment that was just so happening over and over again. But then in the end, it was Enigma who pretty much struck EXO down where it mattered the most. And are we going to see the same moment happen over here as well? Are we going to see Global Esports rise back in the wild card? To find that out, you guys will have to wait for the wild cards too. But MVP of the India Qualifiers 2 over here of the best of 5 series, it's LFF with the consistency of aim and also the game sense, pretty much just delivering on the map. A Breeze, Split, and Heaven with 53 kills, 31 deaths, and 22 assists. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So good in every single way. I'm so happy for the first time ever seeing that, like, for an MVP player, the first bloods are low, because it means that it's no longer just the Jets taking the MVPs anymore, you know? You can see even the lurking potential, the clutching potential of players like Hellfighter. It is instrumental and being rewarded.
Yeah, indeed being rewarded. But yeah, LFF just doing really good. And yeah, that's a really good point. This time it's not the Jet player pretty much showing himself in the MVP board. It's someone else, and it's really nice to see a change in the pace, you know? It's really nice to see something new. It's a it's a breath of fresh air. But look at Deathmaker with 310 frags.
Look at all the headshot percentage of our players though. Look at who's the highest.
31, 31, 31.34. It's Amaterasu. Yeah, Amaterasu. It's just.
This is why
I don't know.
I'm so glad that he's shifted into much more of an active role. He's playing Reyna, he's playing KO. I understand KO might not be an S tier pick on the map of Haven, but in the hands of someone like Amit Rasool, it frees him. And it's so important for the team because across the history of Velocity Gaming, they found the most success in their team when every single member is thriving. It's not really a team dependent on one player. It's a team that works well together. So when a single player is having a bad day, it feels like the entire team is having a bad day. And that's what I felt like for Amit Rasool in Q1. But it just, the agents he was playing, it's not like he can't play them. It just doesn't suit his play style and his explosiveness. Being that, like, relatively older compared to someone like Hellfighter or Deathmaker, still managing to be the most cracked player on the team, that's kind of cracked for me. I can't handle that.
Yeah, no, but still, I mean, overall, it's just the entire roster performing today really well, and I just love, even though they realized that, okay, God Particles have taken out Global Esports, that in itself should be kind of like a thing that would bring down your confidence, but no, that was not the case. VLT pretty much showing that what they say is true. They don't really care what team is in front of them. They just try to go in the game and perform as they you know, pretty much play normally, casually, and that's what they exactly do. Pretty much not really caring who's in the front and just straight up going in and destroying them. Destroying is the last word. It was a complete domination.
Obliteration, I think. Race
obliterating
just says it perfectly. But I think you said it best, Necro. With respect to that fear factor, we did see it not across all maps, but in certain rounds, the decisions made, it felt like maybe it was not fear, maybe it was just hesitation and doubt in the minds of God Particles. But that was more than enough for VLT. They saw a hole and they pushed it all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. They just put the nail. They just put the nail in the coffin in that little hole. But yeah, overall, man, it just looked really good. Stop laughing. God damn it. Yeah, it was just...
Oh boy.
Yeah, but it seems like it's time to control the laughters, and also there's a little interview lined up with the players of Velocity, so let's find out. I'm pretty sure they have some choice words to share.
शुक्रिया एक चीज जानना चाहूंगा और सच्ची इसलिए बताना जब ब्रीज बैन से बच के निकल गया किसी ने बैन नहीं किया कितनी खुशी हुई
खुशी तो हुई क्योंकि हम लोग प्रिपेयर्ड है ब्रीज में हम लोग को काफी अच्छे से रोटेशन ब्रीज की पता है एक दूसरे के अराउंड बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं फ्रॉम टी साइड सीटी साइड बोथ साइड सो इट्स अ कंफर्टेबल मैप फॉर अस एंड इफ एनीबॉडी इज गोना लीव दैट वी श्योरली गोना पिक दैट मतलब वो ऑब्वियस था एवरीबॉडी नोस दैट
I was like मैं वीटो देखा है and I was like all right breeze Icebox over breeze that just changed everything right there
जी इनफैक्ट जॉनी ने भी ये बात मेंशन करी थी मेरा एक सवाल है जब आपने बैक टू बैक यहाँ पर 10 राउंड जीते थे ऑन योर अटैकिंग साइड लेकिन जैसे गॉड पार्टिकल ने थोड़ा कमबैक यहाँ पर चालू करने लगे तो आपके दिमाग में थिंकिंग क्या चल रही थी मतलब क्या ये मैच जा सकता है बिकॉज बहुत ज्यादा क्लोज आ चुका था
बिल्कुल जा सकता था गॉड पार्टिकल्स बहुत अच्छा टीम है उन लोग को
जी।
थोड़ा भी स्पेस दिया दिल टेक इट उन लोग ने इतना अच्छा गेम खेल के वो लोग यहाँ तक फाइनल्स तक आए सो वी कैन नॉट प्ले लूज सो वी वर ट्राइंग आवर बेस्ट बट इट वाजंट लाइक दे वर लेटिंग इट गो and we wanted to close out so in the team speak the only thing which was going on let's close out guys let's close out but nobody was able to close it out but in the end ace ने वो 3 शेरिफ के शॉट्स मार के खत्म किया गेम तो that was like वापस से जो टीम थोड़ा सा डाउन चली थी जैसी 3-4 शेरिफ के शॉट पड़े सबका मोटिवेशन आई सब वापस से चिल्लाने लगे and then next round ही it was over
I think ये एस की एक खासियत है हमेशा जब मोमेंट चाहिए होता है ना एक धमाकेदार तब एस इज लाइक ठीक है मैं करता हूँ अभी
इसके लिए हम लोग एस को अपनी टीम की द वॉल बोलते हैं वो लास्ट रहता है ना वो वॉल खड़ी रहेगी जो क्लचेस में भी निकालेगा जैसे कल भी जो क्लच निकाला था 1v1 हेवन में सो वो बचा ही लेता है आखिर में
वेल अभी तो आप लोग काफी अच्छे परफॉर्मेंस के साथ प्लेऑफ्स तक पहुंचे अमातेरासु बट वहां पे काफी सारी टीम्स ऑलरेडी आपका इंतजार कर रही है क्वालिफाइड टीम्स की बात करें तो हु डू यू थिंक इज द बिगेस्ट थ्रेट राइट नाउ
I think all the teams who has qualified, they are the threat because we are not playing to the fullest. We are shaky. In for qualifier 1, we all were very ill health-wise. So we couldn't perform the way we wanted to perform. But Q2 mein luckily सब कुछ ठीक हो गया and we were back again. But it is not as easy as it was before. All the teams have stepped up a lot and we need to even practice a lot for playoffs.
Well,
so I'm scared of all the teams over there.
I mean, last time we आपने कुछ ऐसा ही बोला था बट वी ऑल नो आई मीन आप एक अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस डिलीवर करते हुए गए थे ऑल द वे टू द फाइनल्स और इस बार तो आई एम प्रीटी श्योर आपका जो मोटिव है वो ट्रॉफी उठाने का ही होगा बट जैसा आपने मेंशन किया कि अभी तो सारी की सारी टीम्स काफी ज्यादा डेडली लग रही हैं बट अपने रीजन की कुछ टॉप 3 की बात करें जिनमें आपकी टीम भी एक है इस बार एनिग्मा गेमिंग है जो आई थिंक काफी ज्यादा सरप्राइजिंग परफॉर्मेंस उन्होंने डिलीवर किया है तो उनको चैलेंज करने का क्या आपका जो प्लान है वो रहने वाला है इन द प्लेऑफ्स
अभी तो सोच नहीं रहे बिकॉज अभी तक ब्रैकेट्स नहीं है प्लेऑफ्स के बट एनिग्मा गॉड पार्टिकल्स ग्लोबल ई स्पोर्ट्स ये सारी टीम अभी एक ही लेवल पे आ गई सो फॉर मी देयर इज नो टॉप 3 टॉप 4 एनीमोर इन इंडिया राइट नाउ ऑल ऑफ देम आर ऑन द सेम पेज और अगर उससे अगर आगे जाना है सिर्फ इन गेम में जो सबसे कम मिस्टेक्स करेगा वो जीतेगा सो एनिग्मा के लिए कुछ ऐसा स्पेशल कुछ प्रैक्टिस नहीं करना है वी जस्ट गोना प्ले आवर गेम एंड वी विल फोकस ऑन कमिटिंग लेस मिस्टेक्स
आई मीन उम्मीद रहेगी कि इस बार भी आप हमको एक बार फिर से फाइनल्स में जाते हुए नजर आए थैंक यू सो मच अमातेरासु joining us for joining us in this interview and hopefully you guys stay healthy playoffs तक और playoffs में ऐसा ही performance आप लोग deliver करें so all the best and well
thank you so much thank you
Oh my god well he said right to ace is the wall for them he's called as the team wall right there when everyone goes down he's the final wall to pretty much break it down but you were mentioning holes in the wall before CA
Hey, I'm going to avoid that question real quick because I might just end up laughing all over. And instead give a big congratulations to Rohit Adak from Noida. Truffler Gaming for that giveaway winner is able to nab himself an exclusive bag of goodies, that merchandise. But don't you worry, everybody else who applied, this giveaway is there every single day for the rest of this month.
Yeah, literally every single day, man. Literally every single day. And we have non-stop actions, so that means you're going to get a chance every single day to win it as well. So, hey, just go ahead and give it a try, give it a shot. All you need to do is go on your social medias. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And then all you need to do is just make a post on your social media saying hashtag VCC. Maybe tag us as well. This is our social handles. You guys can go ahead and follow us too. A quick shout out to ourselves. Please do not. Okay, whatever. You got to do it. Come on, man. You got to do it. All right. We're giving it all. We're giving it all we got as well. So yeah. With that being said, guys, this is pretty much the end of India Qualifiers 2. And as we know, VLT has secured their spot in the grand final playoffs. But do not forget, there's one more qualifiers, actually 2 more qualifiers, wildcard and Nepal and Bhutan. So we need to find out which are the teams that are going to be going in forward. Tomorrow is Nepal and Bhutan, and then instantly after that we have wildcard to line it up. But yeah, with that being said, this is going to be the end of India Qualifiers 2. See, any final words from your side?
No, just thank you, and I'll look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow as well. With that being said, good night, take care, and it's CA and Necro signing off.
Yes, so the baby right now. Pegboard nerds must have you locking at the sound. All of the gal I go passing when me boy I go drop them a coming. Murder. Me are the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some mics. You better turn it. I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around, we all go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. Pull your gun finger trigger. Me are the burning fire and natural born killer. When we bust into flame, watch out some mics. You better turn it. I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around, we all go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. Pull your gun finger trigger.